We're back at it one more time, real quick. Well, not real quick, but you obviously know what I mean. So, several things I want to touch on. Uh, the first of many. Where is this book at? Right here. White trash. I've I've just got to read a bunch of different quotes out of it, um, tie some things together. But what I'm going to do more importantly than that, uh, earlier today when I did the video that I had done, obviously I was feeling some type of way, feeling a little more dappered down now. So I'll try to keep myself most definitely within a tolerable level of ignorance. However, I wanted to start in the book of Luke, if I'm not mistaken. No, John, excuse me. And I wanted to start at the very first. I'll start at 7, and I'll work my way down. Chapter 7. This is supposedly the words of Jesus, but or Yeshua or whatever. There's something I'm going to address later, but this is about people's ability to read and understand. See, earlier today, somebody said something about people having the ability, or they came here with the ability to read and write in their own native languages and their own native tongues. Well, the thing is that there was people who were already here who were illiterate to whatever regard, and they could only communicate verbally with each other. Like they don't have any written documentation, and if they did, it's all been destroyed. It's all but lost in the sands of time. Regardless of that, though, I wanted to point out several things within Scripture that support the fact that the people weren't literate. They were not literate, number one. Okay. And then number two, this idea that there was just the law was just floating around in old school Israel is totally preposterous. The Israelites were taken over by nations of people who therefore took over their temples. Therefore, they found everything within the temples. So if they found literature that they translated and transliterated and then made it mass produced, because the Israelites no longer have the ability to keep their customs to themselves, then that makes this very possible. However, verse 7 on down to at the beginning of verse 7 to verse 15. The world cannot hate you, but me it hated, because I testify of it. The works thereof, that the works thereof are evil. Go ye up unto this feast. I go not up yet unto this feast, for my time is not yet full come. When he had said these things unto them, he abode still in Galilee. But when his brethren were gone up, then went he also up unto the feast, not openly, but as it were in secret. Then the Jews sought him at the feast and said, Where is he? And there was much murmuring among the people concerning him. For some said, He is a good man. Others said, Nay, but he deceiveth the people. Howbeit, no man spoke openly of him for fear of the Jews. Now about the midst of the feast, Jesus went up into the temple and taught. And the Jews marveled. Here is the kill game right here. And I've touched on this before. And the Jews marveled, saying, How knoweth this man letters, having never learned? Right there. It kills what anybody wants to say about literacy within the time of the Messiah. These are people that knew him, people that grew up in surrounding areas, people that understood the intricacies of being able to learn how to read. And did you understand? They didn't say this man knows words, this man knows letters. You understand? So they obviously understood that there's a level to where in which a person can even know how to read. And the first achievement of that is by reading the letters. Now what we're going to do, step by step 2, is it open to it already? All this stuff is supplementing what I'm saying about Black people, believe it or not. And I'll tie it all together here in a moment. We are in the book of the 4th Kings, and this would be the 22nd chapter. And we're going to start at verse 4. One moment. No, verse 3. And it came to pass, and this is chapter 22 of the 4th Kings. This would be 2nd Kings in the King James Version. And it came to pass in the 18th year of King Josias, in the 8th month, the king sent Shaphan, the son of Azalias, the son of Mesullam, the scribe of the house of the Lord, saying, go up to Chelseas, the high priest, and take account of the money, or right here it says, seal the money, that is brought into the house of the Lord, which they that kept the door have collected, which they that keep the door have collected of the people. And let them give it into the hands of the workmen that are appointed in the house of the Lord. And he gave it to the workmen in the house of the Lord to repair the breaches of the house, even the carpenters and the builders and masons, and to purchase timber and hew stones, and to repair the breaches, once again, the breach in the wall, whatever, of the house. Only they did not call them to account for the money that was given to them, because they dealt faithfully. Let me read that to you again. Only they did not call them to account for the money that was given to them, because they dealt faithfully. So they're saying that they didn't ask these dudes about where the money went, because they know that they did the right thing with the money. And Chelseas, the high priest, said to Shaphan, the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of the Lord. Stop right there. I was just talking to a brother, Andre Wickham, who just and while it's on my mind, I got to share something else with you too. But I was talking to Andre Wickham, and he knew exactly what I was talking about right when I hit it up. The key part to there is that, and Chelseas, the high priest, said to Shaphan, the scribe, I have found the book of the law in the house of the Lord. It didn't say the books, okay? So that way he could go give one there. No, one book did he find in the house of the Lord. Do you think the people back then could read? One moment before you get angry with me, let me read to you what the people were doing to the house of the Lord. One moment. And it says here again, in the middle of verse 4, and let them give it into the hand of the workmen that are appointed in the house of the Lord. Hold on. And he gave it to the workmen in the house of the Lord to repair, one moment, by the word repair, or strengthen the breaches or the holes in the wall. Okay, of the house. Even to the carpenters, that's 2. And to the builders, that's 3. And to the masons, that's 4. And also to the purchasers of timber, that's 5. And to the hewers of stone, that's 6. Okay, so that's 6 different job titles. Tell me any one of those job titles that it takes to be a literate person, where you actually have to have the ability to read to do your job. That's what I need to know. You see what I'm saying? Because that's what that matters. I know it might seem like that's like menial, that's nothing, but that matters. Shalom, old cat tripping. How you doing, big brother? But what I just read to you is evident proof right there. Okay. And then let me go back again. These same people who you just read about, who have the ability to be masons, the ability to purchase timber, the hewers, you understand? Your carpenters, right? Your workmen. Can you dig it? These people If you can name one of them that actually needs the ability to read to do their job, tell me now. And I'll wait. And I'll wait for a second because I'm already back in John. You know what I mean? And then I'm going to read to you again the marvel of the people. How you doing, Tammy? Greetings. Greetings, everyone. So check it out. Once again, verse 12, and then we'll go back down to 15. And there was much murmuring among the people concerning him. For some said, he is a good man. Others said, nay, but he deceiveth the people. Howbeit, no man spake openly of him for fear of the Jews, because they didn't want the Jews that were around, the Benjaminites, the Levites, and the true Jehudites, to beat the hell out of them for saying something out the side of their neck about the man. Because some of the people that were there who are being called Jews now are simply converts. The word is used so interchangeably within the New Testimony. You have to read when it says, and it calls them Hebrew people. You understand? Because they're not the same. So one is they're distinctly different, and they have to be denoted as being different. However, let me get off that and just go forward. Howbeit, speak openly of him for fear of the Jews. Now about the midst of the feast, Jesus went up into the temple and taught, and the Jews marveled, saying, how knoweth this man letters, having never learned? Once again, I cannot stress that enough. If they could read, why would they say that? Why? What need? Why would I say to you? Why would you say to me right now, how can he read that book if you can read? There's nothing to be impressed by that, unless the art of literacy, which is an art, right, was something that was only bestowed upon certain people, i.e. the priest. Okay. Depending on what caste you were within Egypt, Joshua was an Ephrathite. His bloodline is actually half Egyptian. So therefore his treatment could have been different. Understand that Joshua was literate because he could read he read the whole book of the law to the people. So where did he learn to read? These are things that you must ask yourself. Every character that you read about, they're not always defined as people who are reading the laws. To be a prophet, to be a seer, you only need to have the ability, right, to be receptive of the Most High. So that way you can give his message. So once again, if all I'm asking you is that to be a workman, okay, a carpenter, a mason, the person who hews the stone, okay, the guy who buys the timber, what form of literacy do you need to actually have to actually do that job? What up, Killmonger? Shalom, boss. What up? What up, Roger Smith? How you doing? Always happy to see everybody. Trust me, best part of my day right now. This is the best part of it. But as we break into this goes back to that video that I made earlier about that lady who got me all out of my comfort zone, we'll say. But however, not even worried about that, because what she said, I have to bring once again to the forefront. She said out of her own 2 or 10 phalanges, she used them to convey the message that people who were brought here, who were Africans apparently, were already literate. So if they were literate, how could they be, well, my people, if they're totally literate as a whole population? Because we have groups of people, okay, who are skilled laborers who don't know how to read, and none of them seem to be abashed by it. They're actually totally amazed by this one man's ability to read, because remember, he's a carpenter himself, just in case you forgot. So they're like, we do hands-on stuff. Where did he learn? Where did he get the time to learn how to read? That's a huge thing, and it's overlooked, and it's totally undervalued by the people. These are things that we have to look at and say, you know what? It's actually not little. It's a big thing. It's not a little thing. It's a big thing. And if we keep acting like it's just a small thing, it's never going to be able to be, acknowledged. I don't have to agree with you. You don't have to agree with me. But if you accept what I'm saying to you, then you can do something with the information. You can't rebuttal something if you don't know what the hell it is you're trying to rebuttal. You see? If you look up DNA and then you look up genetics, they're different. They're not the same thing. Even though DNA and genetics fall hand in hand together, one is the vehicle, one is the operator. You understand? The reason why I bring this forward is because the Levite priests are the only group, it's the only group of the Israelites that would be naturally inclined to literacy. They're the only ones who have to disseminate the laws. The scribes also, but once again, these follow under groups of people who are supposed to be under the priesthood of Aaron, and then overall, the Levite tribe was chosen to do such works. When you undercut them, once again, then why read the book? Why read the book if the book tells you that Judah was good with his hands? The reason I bring all this up once again to tie it all together with the African slaves is this right here, is that if the white man prides himself on not teaching the black man anything, right? Well, is it a possibility that these people who are spoken on, who were skilled laborers, didn't need to be literate to do the jobs that they had accomplished, apparently, in this country? And then that right there goes against what this person's saying to me about people being literate. It goes against what the scripture that I'm reading about people who are supposed to be my people, our people, us. It doesn't support that. What they're saying actually goes against that. Now, I understood what they were saying in the level of, do other people from other cultures have these things? Yes, of course they do. Of course they do. The Israelites weren't totally illiterate. It was just that wasn't a function that you needed. You don't need to know how to read to actually build a house. You don't need to know how to do any of that. You don't need to know how to read to start a fire. These are things that people, once again, we've been conditioned, we've associated learning with physical manual labor skills. We associated the two. They have nothing to do with each other. Nothing. Nothing. And the fact that people keep them together, which is why there's no growth, there will never be any growth like that. This book right here, White Trash. I would advise anybody who's got the stomach to listen to some of the craziest stuff you could ever read, read it. It's the best, worst $10 I've ever spent. I'm going to go over some of the things that are right here in this. And then I'm going to slowly transition to this Eskimo Joe thing. You guys are going to see how all this stuff is actually it all ties together. I just come from many different angles so that way we can see that they've tried to tell this same story that I'm trying to tell you guys, only their version. In this book, she acknowledges the existence of not only blacks, but mulattoes and freed Africans, or people who were Africans of the African diaspora. Now, how can you be a mulatto, right? Either you have a black or white, a black or white daddy, black and white mama. So you're mixed, right? A free black, okay, and then the African. So you have three different distinctions, and I'm going to try to get to that page here. This is a very rough read. So please, if you hear something that you don't like, just bear with me. These aren't my words. These are things that she takes the words of people who are no longer alive, and she distorts them horrendously. I'm going to upload a video of her on my other channel because I don't want any flack on this one. So that way you guys can really understand the person that you're dealing with. But I'm on page 97. And let me see what it is that I was trying to get to on this page. Let me see. Shay's Rebellion. This is the biggest part of the whole book right here. I've read a lot of books, y'all. I've read a lot of books. I've done a lot of studying. When you bring up a character in history, and I'm going to go ahead and Google search him real quick so that way you guys can get a good look at this. One moment. JP Hope, you work construction. I'm glad you can see the connection, big brother. But give me one moment while I pull up this Google page. And about Daniel Shea, he's a mulatto. Okay, y'all. He is a mulatto. What is so crazy about this, right, is that, well, she doesn't say that. One moment. One moment. Let me see if this website here will expose the truth. Oh my goodness. I don't want to put you guys through a whole bunch of nonsense. One moment. Whoa. Cancel. Don't do that. So let me diddy bop around while I talk to you guys. And let me just read this right here to you real quick. But please understand, Daniel Shays is a mulatto. Okay? He's a mulatto. She never, ever brings this out. She never brings it out. But I'm going to skip to page 140 just to show you how freely she'll use the word mulatto when she's trying to get her point across. But yet she never once called this guy this. And we're going to start right here. In 1786, when Shays' Rebellion broke out across Western Massachusetts, rising taxes and mounting debts among middle class and poor farmers had fueled the class war. Captain Daniel Shays had served in the Continental Army, and whether or not it was an accurate description, he was called the generalissimo of the uprising. Shays had acquired over 200 acres of land, only to see half of his holdings lost during the post-war depression. His supporters closed down courts that were auctioning off farms and homes, forming an ad hoc army that attempted to take over the armory in Springfield. And I'm guessing this would be Springfield, Massachusetts. Similar protests took place as far south as Virginia. Writing from France, Jefferson did not deny the existence of the rebellion, but treated it as a naturally reoccurring, even therapeutic phenomena. This is what she's basing Jefferson's, and there's no quotes there. Okay, so she's implying all this herself. Okay, this is her implication. By him acknowledging it, she's implying the rest of this thought for this man. Do you see the destructive nature of that? I hope you guys really can understand that. Like, that's not a cool thing for her to do. But however, in an odd twist, he calculated that such political tempests would most likely happen every 13 years. A little rebellion was analogous to storms in the physical environment. Temporarily jarring, it would settle back down, leaving society's core principles refreshed. Now, this is where things get sticky. Because once again, this whole time, I'm going to read this whole piece to you. Let me know if you hear the word mulatto come up. Jefferson's language betrayed him. He envisioned rebellion as a process of regeneration, removed from human agency and, most important, devoid of class anger. For her part, Abigail Adams had little sympathy for the Shayites. Where she brings up Abigail Adams from, no idea. But she just wanted to say this. This is in quotes. Ferment and commotions she currently observed in a letter to Jefferson had brought forth, once again, in quotes again, an abundance of rubbish. Others agreed. Captain Shays was described in newspapers as an ignorant leader, a pathetic man living in a, once again in quotes, sty, his fellow insurgents nothing more than brutes. That's also in quotes. Comparing them, in quotes again, to the ragamuffins of the earth. lowly vagabonds who owed more than they were worth. Hold on, let's finish it off. To the naturalist Jefferson, they belong to the sedimentary debris unearthed and let loose across the human terrain. But no mulatto. So let me go ahead and put my little ghetto bookmark back. Let's go to page 140. This is crazy. Race and healthful inheritance were part of a single discussion. In 1843, the Alabama surgeon Josiah Knott declared that the mulatto as a hybrid was the offspring of two distinct species, as a mule from the horse and ass. Mulattoes were a faulty stock, a degenerate, unnatural offspring, doomed by nature to work out its own destruction. They were doomed because, like mules, they were prone to sterility. It was a ridiculous theory, of course, but understand this. In this theory part right here, right, only certain parts are in quotes. What are in quotes is faulty stock, degenerate, unnatural offspring, doomed by nature to work out its own destruction, end quote. The other part is they were doomed because, like mules, they were prone to sterility. That's not in quotes. She is implying that's what the man meant. That doesn't mean that's what that man meant. Anybody with a sensible mind knows that man means that going forward in the future, people will see that mixing blood causes confusion and people don't have any solidarity to any one race. Therefore, this dysfunction shall work itself out. However, you can believe that people who knew all about genetics really thought that a human being that was born of other human beings were sterile, and this is in the year 1843, and they'd been making mulattoes for well over 100 years at that point. I'm just saying that right there is ridiculous and it's unbelievable. So let me try to get this page real quick. 1 second of Mr. Daniel Shea. And if I can't get that, what I'm going to do is just ask, was he a mulatto? Very simply, Google Daniel Shea's mulatto. There we go. Bam, bam. Oh my goodness. Here we go. Let me see if I can get one right here. Ha ha! Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Let me go ahead and back that down real quick. Stop, Adobe. Damn it. Let me go share the page, and then let's get this cracking. Bam, 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 bam. So here we are. We are going to slowly work our way down to some of this stuff. Who cares? Who cares about any of this? I'm looking for specific words. Specifically about Daniel Shea. I don't really care about all this other stuff. Let's see. I'm gonna talk about white girls being on black dudes, okay? See, I might have to come back to this anyway. This looks like a very interesting piece. Let me go back real quick, 1 second, because I don't want to have to go through 100 pages to find it, because it's right here. I'm looking at this part. Mulattoes in English colonial North America and early United States Republic by whatever identified as mulattoes starting from the English colony. ... This could be seen in Daniel Shea's Rebellion and the Whiskey Rebellion. See, look, once again, forget it. I'll stop right there. I'll just leave it at that and just say that's it, because that shows it. That showed enough. That shows enough. I'll put a link later on in the freaking description box to some of these places, but I'm not gonna waste your time with that. See what I'm saying? That dude's a mulatto. Why didn't she say that? Can anybody figure that one out? You see what I'm saying? The Negro in the New World. It's free on Google. I'm gonna check it out. I'll check it out, Killmonger. I'll check it out. Uh, but do y'all see the obvious discrepancy there? She's telling you about mulattoes in one sense, but won't tell you that a dude who led a rebellion was a mulatto. That's crazy. And it's a known, it's not like it's a little known fact, like it's a known historical fact. Why would she withhold that from you? Think about that for a moment. What does she gain from you not knowing that? But then using that same term viciously, vehemently throughout this book. All throughout this book, she throws that word mulatto and nigger around very loosely. And I'm not going to expose her all the way yet because that's going to be for this other channel. You see what I'm saying? I just want to get into the book and the discrepancies, small things, and then her choosing another man's words for him. This man is dead. And now you're going to imply what he means for him. That doesn't make any sense. That doesn't fly today. So why are people making exceptions for people that they would not normally make exceptions for? And for these exact things, why did she not say that this dude is a mulatto? Really think about that. Now, hold on. Let me see if I can't find my other little things real quick, because I got one about the white chicks. That's like my favorite one. That is really my favorite one in this whole book, because throughout the entire book, you get this whole message that white men pretty much had their way with all the women that they wanted, right? And so that becomes what's the word? Hard to read. This book is very difficult to read, y'all. I mean, like, I stomached it all for you guys, so that way I could tell y'all what I seen. It would be like going inside of like a Hollywood party and not partaking in nothing and just looking at everything and being like, this is what they really do. And I'm like seeing what they really do, like in this book, because I'm gonna expose a little piece of what I'm trying to expose later. I don't want to say too much here because I would hate for some odd reason these characters have ways of getting stuff done. And yes, brother, it is all code. It is all code. But that's how they speak, is in code. But just check this out. I've been saying what I've been saying about the white man doing this thing with whoever, right? In the whole book, you get one line just like this. Eugenists were divided over the role women should play in the national campaign. Okay. Some insisted that they remain guardians of the hearth. This ideal coincided with traditional Southern ethos that asserted planter and middle-class women possessed a natural aversion to associating with black men. I love it. It's the only line in the whole book that says that white women have been all over black men for forever. Only line. And I know you guys are like, why are you pointing this stuff right here out? I'm like, because in this same very book, when I read other stuff to you, like all the blacks that are in it that aren't exactly black people, the fact that they consider crackers to be in some way, shape, or form a white man who was not pure blood, okay? And there's all kind of crackers that were in the White House. Not sure if you guys actually knew, when Abraham Lincoln was running to be a senator, they ran a smear campaign against him, saying, guess what? He was part Negro. But everybody hates that dude for some odd reason. I know a whole bunch of people that have played what they call right now playing the game. And I don't know how else he could have played the game hundreds of years ago, when just for being, once again, not white was pretty much a reason that you had no rights. You had zero rights, none. this many. And so he played the game, and now he's a racist too, huh? But yet they ran smear campaigns saying that he was a nigger. But they don't tell you that in his history. You have to go look these things up. So, and this is something that I learned from several older people while they were just discussing it, like things that they had learned in school. Men who were over 60 years old, information they don't freely give to you anymore. But right, had you knew that Abraham Lincoln, like I never learned and knew, I learned this stuff about 4 years ago, and it's just been one of those things that just eats at me. They ran a campaign on him saying he was part Negro. Do you know how hard that is? Do you know how, once again, way before he was president, okay, they're saying that he's part black already, half black, whatever. But if you look at Abraham Lincoln, he doesn't really look like a white dude. He don't look like he's a full-blown white. I mean, when you really look at him, you're like, right, I could see that. I could see it. I could easily see it. How many of y'all knew that Andrew Jackson had a black Indian wife? Right. These are the things that are looked over. Let me go ahead and read something to you. This is crazy. No, I can't read that. That's just gonna piss me off. I'm not reading that shit. Yeah, this book is really not. It's not really like I'm not sure. Like if y'all understand, like when I say it's difficult to read, like in no way, shape, or form am I making it up. It's very difficult to read. Like just reading some of this shit over and over is just like will anger you. Let me give y'all something from Ben Franklin since I'm on it. Don't ever think that white people are hard workers. Okay? Ben Franklin comes from a working class family, so to speak, right? This is what he has to say about white people and their children. White children become proud, disgusted with labor, and being educated in idleness are rendered unfit to get a living by industry. Now you're like, oh no, bro, they were farmers and this and that and the other. Are you sure they were farmers and this and that and the other? Because I'm gonna find something about my man's Thomas Jefferson real quick. Where's this chapter at? Here we go. TJ. So I got my bookmark there. And if not, then I'll just have to bring it up again. Where he talks about farming, but then in a flip of a train of events, Jefferson calls himself a monster farmer, like as in like he's not a good farmer at all. And that his farmland was totally, ravaged. I find it quite awkward because, well, the land was plush, extremely plush. So much so that they had destroyed some of it trying to turn it over and till it. How do you do that? I don't have any of the pages marked where she's talking about these guys are supposed to be excellent husbandmen because I don't even care about that. I know it's not true. I know it's not true. See what I'm saying? Husbandry is gardening, working, in the field with vegetation, things like that. If they were skilled in husbandry, they would have never needed the Native Americans to help them eat. Like once again, these things go against basic sense. Basic sense. If you need a stat to tell you that, an actual fucking stat to say that to you, that's disrespect. That's all kinds of disrespect to the game. But their education is beyond indoctrination, though. Oh no, they haven't. No, No, they had a very good clue as to what they were doing. They knew exactly what they were doing, sister. That's my whole thing. Is they knew like there was no why would they talk about the white man breeding with all these other people all throughout the book? Mind you, I read this book and I've read a lot of these pages a few times now. One small, measly little phrase that I read to y'all, did they talk about how white women in particular had an aversion for black men? One time. But the rest of this book, they'll tell you about how these white men, one second, have all kinds of babies with all kinds of people. Like that's all good. Yet they don't talk about the slaughter. They don't talk about the slaughter of the Native Americans. Okay. She doesn't talk about the maltreatment of slaves. She speaks on the egregiousness of Jim Crow and such. I mean, it's like a broad stroke of the brush. Oh, Jim Crow was bad. They hung black people. Bad, bad Southerners. Bad Southerners. But y'all don't really get it, do you? See, I'm gonna prove a point to you real quick, and then I think I'm gonna be done with this. Because sometimes I think that like I don't know how to say it. Like dudes don't really feel what I'm getting at in with all this because I'm really speaking to a whole nother level of issues here. Once again, it's the whole point of this tackling complex. If I wanted this to be simple, we would have focused on one thing and a easy thing. This is a complex matter here. So it takes a little more time to bring it all together. So bear with me. Thank you. And I'm going to bring this all back to literacy in a little bit. Where is it at? Talking about we're using white thuggery. Oh, I love it. Where we go? Where we at? Come on. Where we at, man? Come on. I have trust. I have a bookmark on that page, so I'm just waiting, and I know exactly what I'm looking for. I know exactly what I'm looking for because it's gonna say he threatened the use of low of poor white thuggery or something like that. I love it. I loved it because this guy's a fucking politician threatening the use of poor white thuggery, huh? Mm. This is the kind of once again, but these are the people that nobody talks about. About like that guy, he has no. Where's his time in history at? Man, this dude didn't because I'm trying to look for my book popping up. One moment. She's making me a little irritated. I'll come back to it in a second. Let me set this down. Let me show you somebody real quick. One moment. No, of course they don't know how to farm. But if you ask them, they know all that. They know everything. Super Honky knows everything. One second. Let me look at my faves. Things that I've saved just recently. 1 second. Once again, I downloaded this video earlier about Nancy Eisenberg or whatever, so I'll have it uploaded on the other channel, but I cannot find this a little picture of her, so let me just pull her up again. This is the person who wrote this book. I need y'all to get that. And she don't look nothing like you. I'm making fun of her. She looks nothing like you. All right, I'm going to share the screen real quick so y'all can see this brown hair, blue-eyed devil for yourself. Typically, that's a Norwegian trait. You know, people from Southwest Europe, when they have these kinds of traits, dark hair, light colored eyes. All that means is that one of the parents could have brown hair and brown eyes, and the other parents could have blonde hair and blue eyes. There's normally some kind of offset thing like that. This is she who wrote the book. Just in case you think I'm lying, that's her book next to her mother sucking face. She wrote that. The all the implications of another man's actions and thoughts. This is the person who did that. I don't have time to like, sit there and like harp on like some shit that I probably should, about her. The other channel is called Love Is Not a Game. That's actually the name of it. Love Is Not a Game. That's the name of the channel. I was going to name it The Ghetto Correspondent, but some of the things that I've uploaded on the channel, if the channel ever picks up any kind of true credibility, will be known as incendiary. So I would rather the channel have an obscure name so that way they don't come after me. I try not to do anything that's going to get me in trouble these days when I can help it. So here we are again. Let's get back to people being literate just one more time. And I'm not going to go to the Bible about it. Literacy is a learned accomplishment. It doesn't work like physical labor does. You see, sounds, you can't conquer a sound. You can't conquer a vibration. You can only mimic the movement needed and put forth from your diaphragm, whatever that's supposed to be, the echoes that produce the vibrations for speech. What I'm saying is this, is that the ability to learn is something much like that, where a person has to know what it is that they're trying to learn before they learn it. I am going to bring you with this. What would it take for you to say that just maybe, a person who wrote a book like this actually don't give a damn about nobody? Nobody. Would you guys find it even crazier that the term carpetbagger, right, in this book didn't stand for a Jewish dude, and that's what I wanted to bring up. Killmonger, check this out. I know you're gonna like this. The lady talks about slavery this whole time in this whole book. Never once does she bring up Jewish people. When I say not once, listen, when I say not once are Jewish people brought up for owning slaves in this book, never, not once. And I mean, she brings up some obscure information. So for a person to, once again, to bring forth information and then to withhold it, they have to have an agenda. That's what people with agendas do. Okay? Because if I say, oh, they burned down my house, but I don't tell you that I burned down theirs first, that's deceptive. So now you might have my best interest in mind when really you should have justice in mind. That's neither here nor there. Let's go ahead and get this one. Wow. Texas could lay claim to another dubious first. In 1849, Dr. Gideon Lincecum introduced a memorial before the Texas legislature hoping to ensure good breeders. Listen to this. His solution was to castrate criminals in the manner of gelding bulls, thus literally cutting off the bloodline in order to prevent inferior people from reproducing. Now, let me go ahead and skip further down so that way y'all don't think I'm tripping, because she's talking about mixed race people. The American settlers who arrived before independence were encouraged by the Mexican government to marry local Tejano women. Men were granted extra land bonus if they did. White male settlers routine took Indian and Tejano women. Now, why this is so big is because the term Indian is an umbrella term. Anybody who watched all my last videos seen Indian could be somebody darker than me, lighter than me. You see what I'm talking about? That's huge. That's huge. A Tejano could also be somebody of darker skin tone. These are things that they're not pointing out, okay? So why would it talk about castrating criminals? Can you dig it? And there was all kinds of white criminals back then to do it to. So why didn't they? Just think about that. Think about that. Do you think that was really meant for them? Or do you think that there was something more insidious in mind? Because a criminal is also a runaway slave. You understand that, right? Don't act like they didn't punish slaves for crimes. So why not castrate them? Something that they probably did to the slaves anyway, because we know that they used to clip them all the time and make them bleed to death. But anyway, I don't even want to talk about the wickedness. The wickedness. The wickedness. You hearing that? They brought forth an idea of something that they were already doing. Like, we've been clipping niggers for years. Might have started clipping our own. What? What? But that's what you pretty much just heard. But it's not written like that. Did she write that like that? Did she bring it forth to where you could really see the truth in that? No, but she's tried to develop her own mindset behind another man's words about what he's thinking and what he meant to convey. When the dude clearly just told you he wanted to castrate him. I didn't put anything in his mouth. No words were put in that man's mouth as far as his cynical freaking meaning and what the hell he wanted to do to people. I got one for you. If y'all think that I'm tripping again, this is another indication of they knew that there was more than one kind of black people here. Levi Woodbury elevated the Texas Revolution into a racial war of liberation. Saxon blood has been humiliated and enslaved, listen, to Moors, Indians, and mongrels. Now you're like, why is that such a big deal? Why is that such a big deal? I'm like, did you not hear what he just said? You not hear what he just said? He identified the Moors. Okay, this isn't 1844, mind you. He identified Indians, and he identified mongrels. Now, once again, we know the Moors are black. Well, not the ones today. They're like these watered down looking French dudes or whatever they're supposed to be. The Indians, obviously, once again, what kind of Indian are we talking about? And then the mongrels. They called the Mexican mongrels. They called mulattoes mongrels. See, and they even called blacks mongrels. So understand, she's using language to mask what she means. She's not coming straight forward at you. There's lines like this all through this book that, like, it took me so much time to just sit there and first, like, be able to, like, read it. And now that I have, like, here we go. Here we go. Fucking A. I was looking for this. It says just like this. I can't make this up. Supporters of Texas annexation dramatized the urgent need to preserve a safely Anglo-Saxon society. Continent-wide, Anglo-Texas will protect all Americans from semi-barbarous hordes whose poisonous compound of blood and color flow through the arteries of the mixed races in Mexico. This is what Senator Robert Walker of Mississippi argued in Congress and reinforced with his wildly influential 1844 letter of the annexation of Texas. Through a withered shell of a man, barely 5 feet tall and only 100 pounds, Walker had become the most powerful Democrat in Washington. As ludicrous as it sounds now, he proclaimed that Texas would magically drain, listen, free blacks, mulattoes, and other African mongrels from the United States. Oh, but I'm fucking tripping. Because the same dudes, not him, but the same kind of dudes, said some shit like Moors, Indians, and mongrels. What do you think these free blacks, mulattoes, and other African mongrels are, huh? They're using other words. The free blacks are Moors because they've always been free. Not just blacks that got their freedom bought for them or earned it, but the blacks that have always been free. Thank you very much. It was just a spin on the language. The term now, mulattoes, right? Where you're like, well, he didn't say nothing there, but they're talking about mulattoes all on this page. The mongrel is another word for mulatto, half-breed. Understand me. This words is just wordplay. It's just wordplay. They mean the same thing when they say it. Anybody that ain't white and got funny colored hair and funny colored eyes. That's exactly what they mean. I can't make this up. One second. Art, words, literacy, you carry to cast spells. Oh, well. In the term to spell something, right? To spell a word, it gives you the term spell right there. But that's our word for it. That's the English word for that denomination. That doesn't actually denote the action. So I can't, I mean, I don't know. Stop abortions, all baby killers. Bro, hey, listen, I don't believe in abortion. You know what I'm saying? And I don't believe in people out there running around and having loose sex. You know, the same way that they tell people to pay their rent and pay their bills, they should take care of their responsibilities. You see? But once again, that's a mindset that they've been taught by the same oppressors who wrote this book. You get me? So I get the level of friction. But once again, though, boss, I'm not calling Esau the white man over here. So that's just something that you have to deal with while you deal with me. You see what I'm saying, bro? Because there's too many things that go against that. This book is anything but Esau is the white man. You see what I'm talking about? So there's just things in here that we have to like really acknowledge. Why would they use the term mongrel to cover not only mulattoes, but Mexicans? Why? Why? And then Indians as well. And then turn around and then use the term Indian again or free black or more as if it's different. Because if you know the difference in the wording of the languages, then you're not confused by that. But they will try to take all of us for fools. The people who read this book the most were white people. Okay? So when they read it, they felt good about it. I don't want to read the very first parts of this book because there's things I want to get into later that she hurts her own points. She hurt a lot of her own points in this book, you know. You're so funny. Esau is not the white man, bro. That's the most ridiculous thing in the world, bro. I'm red. I'm red brown. The fuck is you talking about? I'm red. I look more red than any white man will ever look. Closer to the I am way closer to the color red than that white man will ever be. This is a red cord. This is my skin. Look at it. Look at it. I'm a black man, a red black man. Please, please. You hold that up to a white man, he looks nothing like that. Nothing. Bro, you're trying to say that people who are not even genetically compatible. Why don't white people grow afros? Tell me that. Riddle me that one. Why don't white people grow afros? Riddle me that. Right. Right. Once again, bro, I'm reading about just black people. No, listen. No, listen. Listen. See, there you go, sounding like a white guy now, dude. Black isn't a color, it's a legal classification. But you've called yourself a black man in your life, and don't fucking lie and say that you haven't. Don't lie and say that you haven't. Right. No, black is a classification because they don't want to give you your true genealogy. That's what I've been trying to point out. How do they know what all the black Africans are, right? How they know the difference between a black African and a black Indian and a black mongrel and a black fucking slave? But you're going to try to tell me that a white dude who cannot make a baby that looks like you, hold on, who you're claiming comes from the brother of a man that's a black man, a brown man like myself. I can read to you right now that King David was red. I can read to you right now. No. See, you have ignorantly. Okay, so what's your race then, smart guy? What's your race? And don't tell me you're a Hebrew. You're not a Hebrew. No Hebrew worth his salt would say some shit like Esau is a fucking bro. Albino babies have fucking afros. Whenever you get done saying what you're gonna say, the physical appearance still matters, dude. It still matters. You're overlooking everything. Once again, that's a Eurocentric thing, dude. You feel me? You're disassociating everything else. So that way, what you want to believe is okay. That's not cool, bro. That's not cool. But I'm glad that you feel that way. But look, back to what I'm saying. There are so many different black people talked about in this book. The kinds of them. The white people that are in this book never wanted to work, bro. They never wanted to do nothing. Nothing, ever. I already read the quote to you from Benjamin Franklin. Once again, bro, the scripture don't say nothing about Esau being lazy, ever. Never. So when it's all said and done, beyond anthropology, bro, beyond anthropology, big dog, we're above anthropology. If you don't look like me, listen, if you don't look like me, you can't claim to be my people. How hard is that? It's not, I mean, bro, you would have to show me pictures of your parents for me to believe that you're my people and you look nothing like me. That's how it works, dude. That's how it works. What you're trying to say is that you believe that right. I know what the scripture says about Esau. I know what the scripture says about my uncle. I know what it says about him. I don't have a premisconception about what it says about him. What I'm saying is this right here, boss man, is that if all these people in this book that they were blood mixing with were black at first, dude. They were black at first. The Indians that you're hearing about, okay? Okay? They're black. They're black, dude. Understand that. The Aboriginals in this book are black. These are black people. You're still not following me, huh? Because if I open up the Bible right now and then read to you about blood mixing, listen. If I open up the Bible and read to you something about blood mixing, just about King Solomon, all right, I can name the 7 nations of people that the Israelites were not supposed to be with. All 7, he did so with willingly. And these are all black people, dude. And you're trying to argue, hold on, and one of them is the Idumean, who comes directly from Esau. And you're trying to argue that this was a white, no, bro, you once again, that stands on no weight. Because you can't be black. Black people don't have white babies, bro. No, to you he's white. To you he's white. To you he's white. You stand on nothing. You stand on no. Your rhetoric is weak, bro. I'll send you the link to get in here, pimp, and I'll listen to you talk to me for 10 minutes, bro. And I'll give you look before you say something stupid, okay? And when I say stupid, I literally mean stupid. Before you say something dumb, bro, like, oh, they're the Romans, dude. I have pictures. I have pictures that will prove to you. No, bro. I got a question. How can you say that he's red, but we call black people red bones, smart guy? Riddle me that, Batman. No, riddle me that. We call black people red bones, but somehow all black people that are red bone. No. All black people that are red bone, right on. I guess they're white too, but they're considered black people, but we call them red bones. What kind of logic are you working with, cuz? What kind of logic is that? If you show your black ass up in China right now, talk about you Chinese, laugh you out the country. They're gonna laugh you out the country. They're gonna laugh you out the country. White people are not human, dude. They're not human. They're not human. Most black people that you see aren't even human. You act as if blacks weren't educated by whites and weren't given their names. Bro, dude, Toby is a fucking black man's name. Okay? This sorry ass bitch attacks Alex Haley. I know that being a mixed race is a curse. So why would you say that Esau is the white man? I know you can't have two black parents if you can have a Caucasian, but it's crazy. Man. Sorry. No, bro. Being a mixed race is a curse forever. No, where's that written at, bro? What Esau? Listen. I'm trying to understand. I'm trying to understand this real quick. I'm like, okay, you think, yet you don't know a white guy that's making black babies. Yet Esau and Jacob came from the same parents. Yet somehow in your mind, hold on. I'm just saying. I don't know what the little ass arrows mean. You feel me? Like they don't mean shit to me. You know, it's a funny thing to me, bro. Once again, I am here right now proctoring information that makes sense. What I'm about to say is gonna make so much damn sense. He's not gonna say that Esau's white on this channel ever again. I know, but I have to beat the dead horse. I have to beat the dead horse. I have to beat the dead. Do you know how many millions of black people believe what he just said? Millions of them, millions. Yet they can't show you one black person. Yes, they were twins. You stupid ass nigga, I'm about to read it to you right now. You so stupid. I'm reading it to you. Don't say anything else until I read it to you. Because you've already made yourself look very foolish. All I can say is stupid ass nigga did some shit like that. Because I'm like, are you serious? You just want to give up your heritage. Esau is a nigger. Thank you. And he ain't no white nigger. Hold on. Stop, y'all. Stop. I got this. Verse 19 of Genesis chapter 25. And these are the And these are the generations of Isaac, the son of Abraham. And Abraham begot Isaac. And Isaac was 40 years old when he took to wife Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, the Syrian, out of Syrian Mesopotamia. sister of Laban the Syrian. And Isaac prayed the Lord concerning Rebekah, his wife, because she was barren. And the Lord heard him, and his wife Rebekah conceived in her womb. And the babes leaped. Hold 1 second. And the babes leaped within her. Not one, but two, obviously. Let's keep reading. What does it say? And she said, if it will be so with me, why is this to me? And she went to inquire of the Lord. And the Lord said to her, there are two nations in thy womb, and two people shall be separated from thy belly, and one shall excel the other, and the elder shall serve the younger. Stop. Yes, David and Solomon are called ruddy. If you look up the definition of ruddy, right, and then pull up the images on Google, you'll get just as many pictures of black people as you do white people. Sometimes even more. It just depends on the freaking search mechanism, whoever they're using as they do it. But yes, Solomon and David are both called ruddy. But I just read to you, bro. It says right here that they're twins. So let me guess. You've never watched none of my other work. Did you know that Noah's sons are triplets, bro? While you're talking out the side of your esophagus right now, are you aware? No, bro. No, that does not. Two nations means two nations. Man, are you serious? I got one for you. I got one for you, bro. I got one for you, bro. No, I'm not promoting. You're promoting holding hands with the devil, bro. You're promoting that Esau's the white man. You're the devil. That makes you the devil. Stupid. Now let me read something else to your dumb ass, since you're still here. About nations, since you don't know shit about nations. Genesis chapter fucking 10. Hold on. Verse 6. And the sons of Cam, Cush, Mizraim, Pud, and Canaan. Hold on. These are 4 men. Let's just skip forward. What's up, Big Mike? And Canaan begot Sidon, his firstborn. And the Kittite, hold on, that's 2 nations. And the Jebusite, that's 3 nations. And the Amorite, that's 4 nations. And the Girgashite, that's 5 nations. And the Evite, that's 6 nations. And the Ardukite, that's 7. And the Assanite, that's 8. And the Ardadean, that's 9. And the Sumerian, that's 10. And the Amathite, that's 11. So you're saying right now, one dude had 11. Stop. Fuck all that bed wenches and all that shit, bro. Fuck all the bed wench bullshit, dude. I don't want to hear none of that fuckery. I don't want to hear none of that fuckery. You feel me? What's up, Wavy Ben? What's up, bro? Check me out, pimp. I just read to you 11 nations came from one dude, one guy, and you're going to tell me that they're all different races right now? Are you serious, Killmonger? Are you serious? I pray to God you're not serious, bro. I really pray to the Most High that you're not actually like for real, sincere about what you're saying. I hope you're just joking, dude. For real. Because this is crazy. This is crazy. I just read to you from one dude, 11 nations, 11 of them. You're one of these dudes who watches a video about a black chick and you think, oh, no, it's not completely out of context, you dumbass nigga, because you said that there was 2 nations in a, listen, she had 2 babies in her belly at one time. And you tried to say that meant that 2 breed of people. You're stupid, bruh. You're stupid. See, you're the kind of black dude that white people rip the fucking half because you go places with a half-ass argument. Dude. Abraham comes from Sem, stupid. Abraham comes from Sem. Keep reading the Bible. Sem, Ham, and Japheth are all triplets. They're brothers. This is why when fucking historians, archaeologists, all of them, linguists, all of them, whenever they go to certain areas and certain places and they're looking for the people because they are genetically the same. Can you dig it? They can't distinguish these people. That's number 1. Number 2, when the Most High scattered the people and changed their languages from the Tower of Confusion, not the Tower of Babel, because it's not Nimrod's city. Can you dig that? It's not his tower or none of that. He just built his city in the same land that the tower was built in. However, moving forward, when the earth was divided, when Pangea was broken up, and then the Most High scattered all the people, and he changed very little things in their linguistic programming. wherein which a person like yourself or myself, thousands of years displaced, can't tell these little differences, these small vibrations that the Most High and anything who is made much closer to his image than we are can tell the difference to. But a layman ass man like you or me will never know those differences. This is why some of those languages that are supposedly Hamitic or Semitic or Japhetic, they don't know, because those three dudes are triplets. The white man is not human. I've been trying to tell you that. Bro, some of these black people you look at aren't even human. The red man is not human. The yellow man is not human. The original cause. Look, this is the cause. This is the cause. To get him on, look, to get bro to see that I'm not trying to be mad at him or nothing like that. I just need you to see that, bro, if you really want to say that, you're going up against DNA and genetics. Shit that the white man's going to tell you that you can't defeat just by wishing it. But I will get back to the original focus. The original focus was basic though, bro. Tying together how people that were illiterate were brought over here with the abilities that I already read to you. You know what I'm saying? Because it's just one of those things. It is that important. But as I was saying, though, they brought people here who had all the abilities that I already read about in the book. And then there was only one book. Did you guys remember that? There was one book of the law, not a bunch of them. So who's going to read the one book? Obviously, somebody who can read it. And you think if the book has been hiding and has not been on anybody's mind, you think a regular rank and file Hebrew was like, oh yeah, I know how to read that. But the scripture says you're going to give a book to a man, right, who is unlearned, and he will say that I cannot read this because I am not learned. And the learned man, he doesn't understand it. So once again, all I'm saying to you, big dog, is why do you think there's black people who can do shit and other black people who can't? And this all does matter. I'm glad that we went to the Esau page, because it brings together what I'm talking about with these Jews. Why would a person who claims to be a Hebrew, they claim to be Hebrews, they claim to be of that stock of people, right? Why would they, well, not say who they are? Why would they hide their identity? Unless, number one, like we all know, they're not the peoples. And then number two, they're intent for hiding who they are. All right? Because their initiatives that are written down within the scripture make them out to be anything other than people. When you guys read the Bible and you read the term Gentile, I'm going to always ask you this. What do you actually think it means? Do you just think it really means blonde hair and blue-eyed people, or red hair, green-eyed people? Because if that's what you believe, then you've been listening to me and you've gained nothing from me. Because I've told you, the term Gentile means a consortium of things. Part man, part animal, mostly animal, part man. Different kinds of animals all congealed together. Fallen one's DNA mixed with the man, mixed with the animal. Fallen one mixed with the animal. So many different things. So many different things. And this all comes to play with this. This is why I'm like, it's a complex issue. We have to acknowledge that these people weren't given any of the base understandings that normal people have. They don't have any of them. The first man, who is the Aboriginal man, we are not the Aboriginals. We are not the Aboriginals. Can you dig it? We are the second creation. Do you know who the second creation is? He's Adam. He's Adam. That's the second creation. That's why I had to but it's hard, y'all. And y'all know it's hard. It's not just a challenge, it's like literally hard. It's like a rock. It's hard, to do that. because we were all taught these things. We were all taught. And then we want to believe what we were taught. I don't fault anyone for that. I don't fault anyone for believing. The only fault to be found with somebody is not wanting to accept what it is that they're already telling us. They tell us all the time that they are not humans. They are not people. They tell you in so many ways because they attempt to dehumanize you and demonize you. For what? For what? Do you know in this same very book, I'm going to find the page, just not right now, it talked about free blacks. Did you know there were white men who literally, they had jobs just to say that blacks weren't fit to be free, and how a whole lot of them ended up in mental institutions? You know why they ended up in mental institutions? Because just like anybody else who faces traumatic events, those things need to be addressed. They were never addressed. They took a dude and said, "You're free to go." And because every day he's happy, he's singing, he's crazy, huh? You should listen to your father, Killmonger. You should listen to your father. And I didn't say that you disagree with me on everything. I am so energetic about this, bruh. I care so much because I don't give a damn about none of it, bro. It don't matter. It doesn't matter because I already know. I know what I know already, and I'm going to stand on that because I can use science to back up anything that I'm science. I don't even have to use the Bible. I'll use science to back it up. That's the thing, bro. Is I don't want to use their mechanisms. That's why I need you to have your mind on it. If you think Esau is white, build it up. Tell me why you think he's white. Really do that. I know he's not. They're not even human to me. There's black people that aren't even humans to me. So how is a white dude who don't look shit like me going to be more human than somebody who looks like me? It's crazy. It's crazy. You don't, and once again, bro, it's not about agreeing with me, bro. It's about accepting what you heard. And if you can't accept it, bro, acquiesce for the moment and then come back. But I'm never going to be the dude, bro, who's like, what I'm saying is just all out dead in the way. I don't talk about shit I don't know about. I'm talking about like right now, bro, like this, I'm invested in this. My son is mixed. Did you know that, Killmonger? I have a mixed son. His mother has a black father and a white mother, but he's still mixed to me. No matter what he looks like, I know my son is mixed. I've been talking about this for years, bruh. For years, I've been talking about strange children. You know what I'm saying? It's not even about them being the devil and deserving their fate, bro. It's about, can we accept as black people that we're not the same as other black people? I don't even worry about white folks, bro, because they're not worried about me. But if you, sir, can't look at another black person and say, damn, are they really my people? Or is that a Middle Earth dude? Or is he half Aboriginal blood and half Middle Earth blood? Or is he part? Like, what? Where do they fall in the scheme of things? And then do I need to get away from them because of that? Because to say that they deserve their fate, we know we are not created equal. We are not. That I coined that when I was a kid one time and I got in trouble. Got in trouble in high school. They didn't like it. They didn't like a black man saying that we weren't created equal. Apparently that shit didn't fly. However, abortions and eugenics, listen, bro. Listen. Do you believe that the Most High's people are few? Because if you believe that they're few, you shouldn't be affected by a child abortion at all. Yeah, of course, men and women are equal. Of course they're not. But they have different functions. I don't give birth to babies, bro. You feel me? I don't have the ability to carry a life within me and then give them also emotions. It's a very powerful thing what women do, bro. I don't diminish women on the level of their role of being ultimately, bro. You feel me? The holder of the life, bro. You feel me? You know, more than an incubator, but really that's what they do. The man is the producer of the seed, then the woman incubates the seed within her vessel. You see what I'm saying? But she has the ability, once again, within her body to give this baby anger, hate, love, joy, peace, tranquility, whatever, all these different emotions, right? And then still maintain her own emotions. So these are things that men don't look at ever. All right. They don't ever look at them. I don't ever really talk about this kind of stuff because it's dicey. Check this out. A whole lot of Hebrews were mixed with Ham. Is what you're saying? They were Chaldeans, though. When you're talking about people blood mixing, these are different points in the Bible, big dog. I don't worship women, but I don't also denigrate women. If you're gonna denigrate women, listen. I'm gonna Adrian Smith. Now I got to go back to a point that you asked me about in the video in the last week about Adam. Bruh, I feel you. Chicks do some dirty shit. I don't even think you really understand how I feel about chicks, bro. Like they're not on a pedestal. You feel me? But I don't put men above women so much higher to where I'm like, oh, I'm just looking down on them. You feel me? I'm just looking down on them. That's crazy. That's nonsense. This is what Adam did. Let's read what Adam did. Who, but listen though, brother. Listen though, brother. When the Most High tells people to be like the bee, right on, and he's talking about a female bee, and he speaks specifically to the fact that she has a weak body. Listen, hold on, listen. Whenever you say whatever you're saying, the Most High speaks on the bee. It's a female bee with a weak body who serves a very powerful function. Can you dig that, brother? Your physical attributes don't always weigh out to who you are as a person. So once again, it's not about worshiping nobody. It's about saying that's a human being. I don't get there. The end of the human race stops when there's no more men or no more women. That's it. So you can say whatever you want to say, bruh, but that's the bottom line. You know, that's why a lot of these dudes watch what they say about women, because these dudes still talk to women. If you still entertain women, it's hard to say that kind of shit unless you're saying it to say it like you've been disrespected by that woman. Now you got to check her in that moment. But to tell me and to tell everyone here, bro, who believe in the Most High, that a woman has a subservient role to a man, or is supposed to, right? When have you ever heard me say that a black woman is God, bro? And I'm about to read this thing about Adam to you. And when you can go ahead and tell me when I said that the black woman is God, I will acquiesce to everything you're saying and accept it. I've already accepted it. So I'll just acquiesce at that point. However, let's read about Adam and his ultimate mistake. We're going to start at verse 2. No, verse 1 of chapter 3. We're going to work our way all the way down. Of course I've heard I've heard that the black woman is God or a goddess. Come on, man. Come on, bro. Come on, bro. Bruh. Don't do me like that. Verse 1. And the two were naked, both Adam and his wife, and were not ashamed. Now, it's noting that they were naked, okay? And it's noting that they were not ashamed. Let's carry on. Now, the serpent was the most crafty of all the brutes on the earth. A brute is a violent animal. Can you dig it? A violent person or animal. Beast. excuse me, which the Lord God had made. And the serpent said to the woman, wherefore has God said, eat not of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. And the serpent said to the woman, ye shall not surely die. Hold on. And right here, by that little word, there's a symbol, and it says, ye shall not die by death. I don't know what that means. I'm still trying to figure it out. When it comes to me, y'all, I will let you know. For God knew that in whatever day ye should eat of it, your eyes would be opened. Stop, pause right there. Open eyes means something to change in your visual spectrum. So that means that if they were seeing an infrared, it changed from infrared to whatever it is that we think we're seeing now. If they were seeing in black and white, it changed to whatever it is we think we're seeing now. Hold on. You're good. You're good, bro. On trip. Just kick it for a second, Killmonger, and just listen to the moral of the story about Adam. It's about Adam right now. For God knew on whatever day ye should eat of it, your eyes would be open, and ye would be as gods. It didn't say you would be gods, you would be as gods, knowing good and evil. And the woman saw that the tree was good for food, and that it was pleasant to the eyes to look upon, and beautiful to contemplate. So pretty much she's looking at it and she's like, right. She's just like, this is really a good idea right now. Here we go. And have taken of his fruit, she ate. Now here goes the tricky part. And she gave to her husband also with her, and they ate. Stop right there. She gave to her husband also with her. So that means that while this was happening, he's with her. He's right there. He is right next to her. I'm going to tell you why I don't placate Adam at all. Because in my mind, and I had to talk with my brother, Andre Wickham, Salutes Bra Sr. earlier, this is what happened. Adam gets told before Eve, obviously, you can eat of everything in the garden. You just can't eat off that tree. He's like, word, right on. The chick gets here. Maybe he tells her, maybe she biologically already inherently knows not to mess with that tree. Hold on. However, in Adam's own curious mind, did he say, no, Eve, don't eat the fruit? Did he like jump on the serpent and whoop the serpent's ass? I mean, like, did he do any of that? No, he just stood right there. She took a bite. He looked at her. First off, she didn't already touched it and she's still alive. Second off, she done bit this shit. Oh, and she's still alive? Fuck it. I know you're like, that does not sound good for Adam. What else could he have done? I don't believe that a feminazi attitude somehow permeated within Eve and was able to emasculate this man to do something. That's right. He wanted to know what was going to happen. That's right. He was just as curious as she was. Just as. And you know what he got for his just desserts? Let's keep reading. And the eyes of both were opened, and they perceived they were naked. One moment. Yeah, that's exactly what he was like. That's exactly what he was like, bro. Okay. But this is where we're at, though. It says, and the eyes of both were open, and they perceived that they were naked. What? They perceived that they were naked. Hold on. They had two eyes already that were physically open. So that means that the visual spectra changed, and they no longer seen in that spectra and saw in another spectra. Hold on. And they saw that they were naked. Now, this is a cold one, y'all, because I'm going to keep on reading, because this is what happens at the end of this is actually like my favorite part. No. Listen. Either way, if he got the commandment, how did she know to tell the serpent that she couldn't eat of the tree? Because Eve initiated the sin. You understand? Eve initiated that. Had Eve not initiated that, obviously there wouldn't be any punishment. But a deeper implication. Give me one moment, y'all, to read this real quick, and then I'm going to give you guys something to think about. Verse 9, and they heard the voice of the Lord walking in the garden in the afternoon. Wow, that's fucking deep. It is. And both Adam and his wife hid themselves from the face of the Lord God in the midst of the trees. Now understand, this whole time, Eve does not have a name. This is why she's considered the woman. Can you dig it? Can you dig it? One moment. And the Lord God called Adam and said to him, Adam, where art thou? And he said to him, I have heard thy voice, one moment, the sound of thee walking in the garden, and I feared because I was naked. Hold on. And it says, because I am naked. Excuse me. And I hid myself. Now hold on. Now here's the even bigger part to all this, y'all. Telling Adam and Eve that they were naked was bigger than them actually eating the fruit. And here's why. Here's why. Because the Most High didn't assume that Adam ate the fruit first. He assumed someone told him he was naked. Hold on. And God said to him, who told thee that thou wast naked? And by the word thou art naked, excuse me, unless thou hast eaten of the tree concerning which I charged thee, of it alone not to eat. It's the only one I told you not to eat. And Adam said, the woman whom thou gavest to be with me, she gave me of the tree, and I ate. God punished her for, I'm reading it to you. Listen. And the Lord God said to the woman, why hast thou done this? And the woman said, the serpent deceived me, and I ate. Listen, bro. Even though Adam didn't say, Eve deceived me, he was standing right next to her. It's just, this whole situation is deeper than what we've been taught to think it is. This is why I come at this stuff, once again, with so much energy, y'all. Because for the last, honestly, 4 years, I can say I've really been like reading the Bible. The last 3 years, I've been on this mission. The last 2 years, I've been making videos. And it's hard to give everybody what I've picked up little by little. You know what I mean? Like I do the best that I can to relay the information. You know, it's just one of these things where, well, I have a question though, bro. Did anyone notice that Adam and Eve? No. He didn't blame the Most High. He was just saying what happened. Look. The whole situation was like a real regular thing. I appreciate you, brother. Thank you. I appreciate that. No, bruh, you're not. That's not true. Listen, let me read this again. Let me read this again. Now the serpent was the most crafty of all the brutes on the earth, which the Lord God made. And the serpent said to the woman, stop. Wherefore has God said, eat not of every tree of the garden? And the woman said to the serpent, we may eat of the fruit of the trees of the garden, but the fruit of the tree which is in the midst of the garden, God said, ye shall not eat of it, neither shall ye touch it, lest ye die. Yeah, that's right. She was help for him, first off, and then number two with that, to go along with that, she already knew, bro. She knew. How could she tell the serpent, unless Adam was like right there in her ear as the serpent was like talking to her in like one ear, Adam's in like the other ear, like say this to him or say this to her, because you know it's Lilith. But they always want you to think of that as Satan or Lucifer somehow, but it's Lilith. It's a chick. However, unless you believe that Adam stood there doing the psst, psst, while the serpent's like talking to Eve, like psst, psst, the same way, bruh, Eve knew the ordinance. Eve disobeyed on her own. That was her own choice. She made that choice herself, but she was deceived because the serpent said that she wouldn't die. So she thought the Most High was just pulling her leg. You do realize, I'm about to read something to you that's going to blow your mind though, y'all. The whole point of this, the tree of knowledge gave them the ability to learn. This is what the Most High says. Verse 23, and God said, one moment, behold, Adam is become as one of us, just like the serpent said, ye shall be as God, knowing good from evil, as gods, lowercase g, not big G. Hold on. Adam is become as one of us to know good and evil. And now, lest at any time he stretch forth his hand and take of the tree of life and eat it, and he shall live forever. So the Lord God sent him forth out of the garden of delight to cultivate the ground out of which he was taken. Did you hear what the Most High just said? He said before he learns and gets the ability to want to eat from the tree of life and live forever, and then he also has the ability to learn and to truly be like a man God, you got to get him out the garden. He's gone. Get him out of here. He's got to go. That's how it's got to be. It's not about, oh no, he had sinned. And no, it was because if he gained the ability to start thinking like he was going to, he would have ate from that tree. So the Most High is like, it's not like, oh, they had a whole bunch of fruit from the trees already. Do you dig it? Yes. 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 You want to hear about Adam's first wife right now? You want to hear about her? Genesis chapter 5, verse 1. Just like the tower, brother. Just like the tower. This is the genealogy of men in the day in which God made Adam. In the image of God, he made him. Stop right here. That's right. He put the flaming swords there to keep him out because once again, you get any cheeky ideas, now you're living forever. You can't have that. You already were living forever, but you didn't have the ability to learn while you were living forever. But does anybody notice that they don't have sex until after they get kicked out of the garden? Just something I wanted to throw out. However, so sex could not be the forbidden fruit, just in case people ever try to say that to you, that doesn't actually marry up. Here we go. This is the genealogy of men in the day which God made Adam. In the image of God, he made him. Male and female, he made them and blessed them. Here we go. And he called his name Adam in the day in which he made them. Hold on, by the word his, there's a symbol, and it's the word there, as in both. So he called both them Adam, the man and the woman. If he turned into a man god, it depends, because do you get okay? Well, did you first follow that part right there, bro? That like Adam and this woman are made in the same day. She's not taken from his rib. There's no mentioning of animals, and this specific happening right here, it tries to say that that Adam is made in the image of the Most High. If that's true, sure, I guess, but still, his children go on to mate with people that have corrupted genetics, so you wouldn't look like that. No, bro, no, bro. But still, on this planet, he would have been effectively a lowercase god. Who would have stopped him, Killmonger? Who? Because a brother named Roger Spice says something that very few people ever acknowledge. And what he says is that the Most High endowed Adam with the ability to do whatever was needed to be done to protect the garden. That's simple. It's that simple. So a person who has all those abilities, now they have the ability to learn, and now they're still living forever, that makes them a very dangerous foe to anything that's on this planet. Technically, he could wreak havoc on all the other living life. The Most High would be forced to kill him himself. Like it would be some, it wouldn't be pretty. Let's just say that it wouldn't be pretty. I have a question for all of y'all, just in case you ever wondered this. Have you ever read in the Bible anywhere that the fallen angels are going to hell, wherever that place is really supposed to be? Anyone? Um, the connection with the brute, okay, 1 second. Bro, I'm with you, Killmonger. I follow you, big brother. But give me 1 second. Give me 1 second, Killmonger. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Okay, Adrian. So the connect is this, sister. My best understanding of this situation. See, this goes into the Lilith series that I did. Okay. You guys do know, I believe that people without facial hair come from the seed of the serpent, right? And like-minded animals, or like animals, like the fish, right? They don't have fur and hair. You guys, no, I have made this clear to you guys, right? That like I believe that people who lack facial hair constitution and things like that, okay, so the serpent seed is on Earth, okay? Some of her children, depending on what the fathers look like, are going to look a certain way. So if the father, let's say, has the appearance, yes, to what, Adrian? I'm not sure I follow you, sister. But if the father has a certain appearance, let's say he has very little facial hair visage, a serpent, there are no hairy ass snakes out there. Not a whole bunch of them. There's not clans of them, I'll tell you that. All right. So we're talking about the fish also. Another animal that doesn't have hair. I know you guys are like, how could you say that about somebody? How could I not? There's only how did the pores close up, or how did they get open? Once again, either they started without beards or they started with them. I'm not in it for the 50-50 game. You know what I mean? So how do you start to have a beard and then don't have one? And just to go back to the serpent real quick, to stay on that line of thought, is her seed is given a direct beef with the Most High's chosen seed. Well, while it's not written that this is a female in particular, has it ever dawned on anyone that a black woman's worst enemy is another black woman? Ever. And it's because I'm trying to separate our people right now from the serpent seed and all the other seeds and things that are on this planet. Bro, I've heard that silly ass theory, but let me break something down to you. Why that theory makes no sense at all, at all, at all. Satan, right, is written in this book as getting how? How do not all Hebrews have beards, bro? Let me read something to you. Let me read a Deuteronomy freaking a statute real quick, and then tell me that. Shall not corners of a beard. There we go. Go to the book of the Levites real fast. Chapter 19, verse 27. Once again, no offense, Lamont Sims, but because you said it, bro, I have to ask you this. Like, do you think you know more than the Bible? Because if so, then right on, bro. But if not, and you believe that what this word says to be true, this is what verse, I'm going to start at verse 25, just to be fair. And in the 5th year, ye shall eat the fruit it's produced, and is 24. Nope. F it. Right at 26. Eat not on the mountain, nor shall ye employ auguries. An augury is like watching for signs of like animals or like the changing of like weather and stuff like that to use it as a sign, nor divine by inspection of birds. Exactly. So it's all the same stuff. Ye shall not make a round cutting of the hair of your head, nor disfigure your beard. Question, big dog. Question. Why would the Most High tell people not to disfigure their beards if they didn't grow them? Nah, bro, that doesn't make sense, Lamont, brother. Listen to what you're saying right now. Listen to what you're saying. You're saying that dudes who come from one man and four women, right? Listen, their father is a bearded man. They all come from men that are bearded men. All of the sons had beards. All of them. When did the Most High say he's the only one with the power to create something? He says, no. I shall make live and to die. Come on, bro. Once again, when you guys talk like that, it sounds like you don't believe in the scripture. That's all you sound like. You don't why are you waiting for me? If you don't believe, my nigga, you don't believe. That's not my problem. But back to Lamont Sims. Lamont Sims, brother. Once again, why is that written in the book if they all don't grow beards? I mean, that's just a basic question, bro. Basic ass question. Basic ass question. If they all don't grow beards, why is that written in there? Because that would be purposeless for the Most High God. I mean, for him to not even cover it and be like, if you grow a beard, don't cut it. Like he didn't even cover himself. So either y'all's a liar or you're a liar. You live in the hood, you barely what? Look, bro. Look, bro. You're talking to a dude who understands genetics and DNA on a level I could be a biomolecular engineer, bro. Like, I'm not even joking. Like, I could do anything that I want to do. I choose to do these things. I choose to not work a normal job and work at a hot dog stand. Can you dig it, dog? That's what I do for a living, bro. I sell food for a living. Do you grow a beard, Lamont Sims? No one else can create life, bro. All they can do is take what he's already made and then manipulate it. That's it, big dog. Have you not let me read it to you. Genesis chapter 6, verse 2. You wearing me out, Killmonger. I'll give you that. You've put it on me tonight. You've been putting it in. Chapter 6, verse 2. And it came to pass, when man began to be numerous upon the earth, and daughters were born to them, that the sons of God, having seen the daughters of men, that they were beautiful, took to themselves wives of all whom they chose. And the Lord God said, my spirit, my constitution, shall certainly not remain among these men forever, because they are flesh. He didn't say that they're made of the dust, they're flesh. It's different than the dirt of the ground. But their days shall be 120 years. Now giants were upon the earth in those days, and after that, when the sons of God were wont to go unto the daughters of men, they bare children to them. Those were the giants of old, the men of renown. Okay, so this is my point. Most of those black people are probably from here, actual true natives to this land. That's all that means, bro. They would have to show me chin strap. Any of this nonsense under here? Because once again, bro, it happens to dudes. A guy's dad or a dude's mom will go and get with somebody who's not from the tribe. And then guess what, bro? A genetic like a beard, if you're with somebody who's beardless, and then so a guy marries a chick, none of her brothers have facial hair. He grows a full-grown beard. He has a baby. Then the baby grows super light facial hair, maybe almost even none. You understand what I'm talking about? Bro, this is why I have so many pictures, y'all. This is why I showed hella pictures in all the videos. Like, you'd have to go back and then reference what closest thing that you think you look like. Because if you have woolly hair with a chin strap and the underbeard, the damn chin strap beard I'm always talking about. Anyway, it doesn't make you not the people. Nah, that's not true, big dog. That's not true. What people were you looking at on the slave ships that you're talking about? Because I wasn't on no slave ship. And once again, if the Most High told the people not to shave their beards, why couldn't those men have just been shaved? Bruh, they forced a lot of slaves to shave, big dog. And then once again, you got to think the Most High's people are not in strong numbers. This is my point. This has been my whole point. People have to see who they are, accept who they are, acknowledge who they are, and then they can move forward. Black people are not gonna. That's why I can say black people, because I mean aboriginals. When I say the aboriginal, he's a Gentile. When I say the black Indian who has coarse hair, very little facial hair, he's a Gentile also. When I say the black native who has long, straight hair, right on, no facial hair really, maybe a little bit, Gentile. Then I'm talking about Hamites. Then I'm talking about Japhetites. Then I'm talking about Semites. Then I'm talking about the consortium, the mixture of all those bloods and all the different combinations that come with it. See, once again, for me, this is all simple because I accept it. I acknowledge it. Now I'm just working with it. It's simple. It's hella simple. You told me already that out of 100 people, maybe 3 of them grow beards. No, there's no need for a DNA test. There's no need for a DNA test. You feel me? If you, once again, brother, if you have family members that grow full beards on either your mom or your dad's side, that means that the other side of people are the other people. That's it. That's it. Get over it. Get over it. Get over it, bro. I got a fucking Indian great grandma on my mama's side. On my daddy's side, uh, 4 people or 5 generations back, I got a white fucking grandma who's Irish. Okay. No, bro. Look, that's what I'm saying. You no. You can tell only certain times. There's brothers who shave that you can't see. I know who I come from. Killmonger. I'm aware of this, big dog. I appreciate you. But just follow what I'm saying though. On my father's side, just like on my mom's side, there's black slave men, nigga niggas, okay? Afro bearded niggas. For them to try to tell you, this is my whole point, dude. I have cousins that grow the full crazy, almost up to their eye spreads, right? These dudes have Aboriginal granddaddies who were called Black Indians. These dudes are crazy ass looking beards. Like their beards are like literally like up to their eyes. No, bro, they can't all be Semite-Hamite mix. If I just told you that there's 3 different classifications of Black Gentiles, they all can't be Semite-Hamites. And there's Japhetites in the world, bro. What about Japhet? You can't just leave somebody out because you don't want to think about them. That's what I'm saying, bro. Like I always tell people, bro, I'm part Middle Earth thing. I've been saying that everybody's part Middle Earth thing, at least part. There is not one person on this planet. Do you and your brother have the same parents, the same exact parents? Because I have never met. I do understand recessive and denominate. I understand that. I have never met 2 people with the same parents where one brother grows a beard and the other one does not. Me and my brother have different dads and the same mom. My brother grows a beard and I grow a beard. Do they grow in the same formation? No, but he still grows a beard. So it's just like one of those things where if your brother, right on, has a different father or a different mother, then that gives rise to what I'm saying, big dog. That's all. That's all I'm saying, big bro. You feel me? It's right. That's gonna happen based on you might look more like your dad's people, and he might look more like you guys' mom's people. All that stuff depends, but you should still have similar like features. You can't just have no like features. You know what I mean? It's a prime example. Y'all need to look up the DMX interview with his son. This dude's son grows very little facial hair, very little. But we all know DMX can grow a beard. Right. No. I got you, Roderick. I got you, bro. Man, that ain't nothing, bro. I follow what you were saying, but that's why I had to ask you about your parents because you know how it goes for black people, bro. Japheth is not what. Wow. Lamont Sims. How many videos have I made saying that Noah's sons are triplets? Are you serious right now, Lamont? Big dog, big lad. As my dude Ben Judah would say, big lad. Hold on. I gotta stop for 1 second, y'all. Chapter 6 again, verse 1. And Noah was 500 years old and begot 3 sons, Sem, Ham, and Japheth. Lamont Sims, I'm not sure how old you are, big brother, but however old you are right now, if you got your woman pregnant or your girlfriend pregnant, and if you don't have one, your imaginary girlfriend or wife, if you got her pregnant, right? And she had 3 sons right now at the age that you are right now, what does that make your sons, bro? By scientific definition. I'm going to sit here and chill and wait. I know there's a little delay in all this. I ain't worried about none of that. I'm going to sip on my wine while I wait. Lamont, don't leave me hanging. See, I almost feel like doing these live things is like mandatory now because Stuff that I would never know what people are thinking. I get this. I'm actually seeing it. I'm actually starting to understand. Big brother, I have been saying that Noah's sons are triplets for the last few months now. By me saying that they're triplets, I have been trying to delete any argument for race. Yeah, he's I'm gonna smoke while I wait. Stop. Oh, so I'm about to get it in too here in a little second. I'm getting kind of lonely over here in the pad. You know, it is what it is though. But big look, y'all. This has been so fun. This has been super duper fun. But we got to get serious again. I got to go back to um um literacy. People, no, bro, no. Are you serious? Are you once again, Lamont Sims and bruh? Now I have to read to you what happened to Japheth's children. You apparently don't believe what the word says. Yah's word be true though, bro. I'm gonna read it to you so that way you don't think I'm trying to get over on you. He's the first one mentioned. The sons of Japheth, Gomer, and Magog, and Madoi, and Jovan, and Elisha, and Tobel, and Mosak, and Tiras. And the sons of Gomer, Ashkenaz, and Rivta, and Torgama. And the sons of Jovan, Elisha, Tarshish, Ketians, Rhodians. No, bro. No. Lamont Sims, bruh. Now I have to school you, bro. Sorry, pimp. Y'all, man, I can't let this dude talk like that. That's beyond. No. Hell no. Hell no. I'm not gonna have a motherfucker who ain't never produced a single word tell me that people that or don't even look like us all the way are us. That's bullshit. So I'm about to pull up some pictures, okay, of some people from the Solomon Islands, bro. You're gonna have to explain to me why they have blonde hair and blue eyes and why you don't. Can you dig that? Can you dig that? That's all you got to do. When you can explain that much, I don't care about nothing else. As long as you can break that part right there down to me, bro, you man, you golden, bro. But if you can't do that, I'm gonna ask you politely to shut the hell up. Politely, because that's bullshit. And what you're saying is nonsense. And it makes no sense, bro. None. And at least when I say whatever I'm saying to y'all, I back my shit up. Look at this picture. Lamont Sims, where are you at, dog? Look at this picture. You're telling me right now that you have the genetic constitution to make a girl that looks like that? This is the people I call Japheth, smart guy. One moment, I'm not done yet. Look at him. This is a natural occurrence on their island. Look at him. Look at him. Right. Hold on. That's Sim though to you, because I just told you Noah's sons are triplets, so genetically they are fucking identical. Yet none of that you heard. Look at that little girl with yellow hair. Look at this little boy. He's not even your people. Look at him. He's a Gentile. Look at that little boy right there. Another Gentile. Look at this guy right here. He's a Gentile. He's mixed though. You can tell that he's mixed up with whatever. But look at him. Look at these dudes. Look at the little boy right next to him. The little black boy who you think is Sim. You think that's Sim, really? That's Japheth. That's a Gentile thing. Look at this little girl right here. I guess that's Sim too, huh? Right? That's Sim. But only, I don't know no Sims with blue eyes like that. Not one. But my God said that when the islands were dispersed with the Gentiles on them, some of Japheth's little kids went there too. Specifically speaking, These two guys and the sons of Jovan, Elisha and Tarshish, Kettians, Rhodians. From these were the islands of the Gentiles divided in their land, each according to his tongue, in their tribes and in their nations. Stop. That's not a Semite. I wouldn't even call him Japhet. That's just a Gentile. Gentile. Mixed with maybe some Japhet. Maybe. All Japhet. Gentile. Mixed. A couple mixed ones, a couple Gentiles. Please, Gentile. Come on, bro. Look at the mixture. Look how dark some of these people are, bro. You got Japhetites mixed with Middle Earth, black. Man, stop, dude. This shit is so crazy. This shit is so crazy. Look at her. Is that Sim, big brother? Is that Sim? And because you made me do this. Is that Sim? Answer me. Answer me. Don't make me look stupid. Because I stopped doing what I was doing just to do this for you. Because the people I call Japhet are actually Semite. These are Japhetites, dude. That's a Japhetite you're looking at. Gentile thing, mixture, whatever. Look, mix a consortium right there. Dude, they're mixed. Look at these people that you're looking at right here. Mixed like a mug. Look at the little boy. That's probably like a little American little mixed boy. And they make a couple, but they're mixed blooded. Those people that you were seeing is black people, just like this dude right here, right? With different colored eyes and different colored hair. Look at that. Look at that. Those aren't our people, dude. Those are Japhet's children. I know I sound stupid, but oh, this guy. Anyway. Look, once again, a little more Solomon Island children. I have to go through a whole bunch of these pictures. Little Gentile boy. The little Gentile boy. Well, I like that picture. It's one of my favorite pictures right here. The little Solomon Islander people. I know he's mixed. He got a little bird chilling. He's just kicking it. Mixed people. Some of them Japhet, some of them Gentile, some of them both. Look, more Japhetic looking than anything because they look like, well, people I know. Obviously Gentiles. Gentile mixed thing. Look, Japhet. Can you dig it? But look how dark skinned some of these guys are. Come on, man. Please. Bruh. Look at this guy. That's Japhet. And I'm ending it on this OG picture right here. That's Japhet. It's not Sim. I appreciate you, Roderick Smith. I appreciate everybody here. I appreciate when people come and show up and leave. Right on. He dipped out on us. He said all that just to dip. It's okay. It's okay. As I was saying to you, beautiful, lovely, lovely people, my people. However, because I don't have time for that. I have very little time for that. And notice, each time I've heard something that I don't agree with, I've done my best to go to scripture to read something in scripture about it. Outside of giving you what I think in my head about it. Is that not at least an effort to try? We all have to listen to learn. I spend a lot of my days just listening. Oh man, I really do appreciate you guys. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. Wavy Ben. I'm a touch bases with you, man. Sometime this week. You can chop it up for an hour or so. Get it in. Y'all, I have one more thing I really want to share with you. Really, really, really. Very interesting subject. Where my book be? All right. Going through my little Bible notes right now, right? And I was looking at something earlier. I can't remember exactly what it was, but I was like, I'm reading that to them because there's a lot of stuff that just goes on. Right on, bro. This is my favorite. And look, I'm telling you, one of the first things I said when I first got on was like, this is like my favorite time of the week right here. You know, I really do enjoy this. You know, I'm just me. I'm just a regular old dude. You know, I don't try to make myself bigger than nothing or whatever. But I do this right here, this thing, my heart. I feel it right there. You know, if they don't dig it, they don't gotta dig it. Because before you, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir. Okay, here we go. Bam. We're gonna talk about this with Israel real quick. And the book of the Kings, and then I'm going to find the other part with the righteous kings. That's what I'm looking for. So I can read about the Idumeans and how they get down. This is the 4th Kings, 17th chapter, starting at verse 20 all the way to 23. And the Lord was angry with the whole seed of Israel and troubled them and gave them into the hand of them that spoiled them until he cast them out of his presence. For as much as Israel revolted from the house of David, and they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king, and Jeroboam drew off Israel from following the Lord, and led them to sin a great sin. And the children of Israel walked in all the sin of Jeroboam, which he committed. They departed not from it, until the Lord removed Israel from his presence, as the Lord spoke by all his servants, the prophets. And Israel was moved far off from their land to the Assyrians until this day. Now, the reason why that's important is because these modern day Assyrians, right, who are other black looking Arab people and things like that, who have control over other black looking people like us, that's where your black people are at. A lot of them. I'm just saying. I'm really just saying. Like, I know it sounds crazy, but this is more than likely what it is, y'all. A lot of our people are still kicking it in one spot. Here we go. We're going to go 4th Kings, 16th chapter, verse 1. In the 17th year of Phakeh, son of Ramalias, began Akaz, the son of Joatham, king of Judah, to reign. 20 years old was Akaz when he began to reign, and he reigned 16 years in Jerusalem. And he did that, and he did not that which was right in the eyes of the Lord. Excuse me. He did that, and he did not that which was right in the eyes of the Lord, his God faithfully, as David his father had done. And he walked in all the ways of the kings of Israel. Yea, he made his son to pass through the fire, according to the abominations of the heathen, whom the Lord cast out from before the children of Israel. And he sacrificed and burnt incense on the high places and upon the hills and every shady tree. Then went up Rashan, king of Syria, and Phakeh, son of Ramalias, king of Israel, against Jerusalem to war, and besieged Akaz, but could not prevail or fight against him. At that time, Rasan, king of Syria, recovered Elath to Syria and drove out the Jews from Elath. And the Idumeans came to Elath and dwelt there until this day. And I know you guys are like, what's it got to do with anything? First off, it's talking about Jacob and Esau right now, one of which who was stuck with the Assyrians, the other one who was in the land of Elath. You understand me? You can't be considered the people still, and you don't look anything like the people anymore. That was one of the things that some Egyptian guy said about the Jews a long time ago, was that they left black and they came back white. I mean, that kind of would make you be like, I don't know about these guys, but apparently not enough to stop them. Apparently that was not enough to want to stop them from moving on in. Some more Bible stuff for you. Oh my goodness. And boy, do I have some notes for you. I got some notes. 1 second. Okay. I like this one. This is Exodus 34. We're going to start at 1. And the Lord said to Moses, hew for thyself 2 tables of stone, as also the first were, and come up to me to the mountain. And I will write upon the tablets the words which were upon the first tables, which thou brokest. And be ready by the morning, and thou shalt go up to Mount Sinai, and shalt stand there for me on the top of the mountain. And let no one go up with thee, nor be seen in all the mountain. And let not the sheep and oxen feed near that mountain. Stop. Let's go ahead and talk about some radioactivity, which is what that's talking about right there. The whole point of him not being seen or any of that right there was because the Most High understands, and his messengers understand these things. They're radioactive to us. What we call radioactivity, they're naturally radioactive to us. Hold on, here we go. And the Lord descended in the cloud and stood near him there and called by the name of the Lord. And the Lord passed by before his face and proclaimed the Lord God. Whoa! Listen. Do y'all know what's going on right now? Listen, and the Lord, who is one, descended in a cloud and stood near him there and called by the name of the Lord, who was another person. And the Lord passed by before his face, who was the one that he called, and proclaimed the Lord God, pitiful and merciful, long-suffering and very compassionate and true, and keeping justice and mercy for thousands, taking away iniquity and unrighteousness and sins, and he will not clear the guilty, bringing the iniquities of the fathers upon the children and the children's children to the 3rd and 4th generation. Let me stop right there, y'all. I know you guys are like, what the hell does that have to do with anything? Everything to do with everything. The fact that they never stopped sinning, you are the 3rd and 4th generation. You are the grandchild. You are the great-grandchild. How many people actually live to get to see the grandchildren? Right. Some of them do, but a lot of them don't. So these Hebrews, these people, took it upon themselves to desecrate the Most High's value, so much so because the Lord, whichever, and if that's not the Most High himself, if that's just the angelic representation, somebody other than a human wrote the laws themselves. The man then disseminated it, but they wrote the laws in a language that the man could read. Yep. Yep. Sure did. And what's that got to do with everything? Literacy. Right. Y'all don't even see. Right. I know. I know you're like, how the hell does that even match? It's perfect for everything. Because if I keep reading, right on, not too far from here, there's happenings where Judah and the tribe of Dan are both giving the spirit of understanding, and then they're given the ability of like workmanship. Well, why that's important is because clearly, once again, when we talk about the people that you truly are, that you actually are, well, don't you think that it matters? Just a little bit? I mean, once again, tell me one time in the scripture where it's overwhelmingly obvious that everybody was worshiping the Most High. Tell me another time in the scripture where it's overwhelmingly obvious that everybody's literate. These are things that people like can overlook and they can just push away because they don't have to accept it. They don't have to. They don't have to accept it. They don't even have to acquiesce. They can just act as if they never were introduced to that information, which is sad. It's very. It's. I mean, it's almost tragic. But at the same level, you have to take that from people because they're trying to elevate their mind, but you don't know why they're trying to elevate their mind. You see what I'm saying? I told Ben Judah, my boy in the UK, my reasons for doing this are not really totally justified because it's like it wasn't like I was doing this for once again for y'all years ago or anything like that. Like there's like a level of like guilt that is like I feel guilty about all the things that I've done. And it's like this is like one of the only ways I can give back to anything, you know? Because you would be surprised how often at a hot dog stand, I know it sounds crazy, but people walk up that, I might have talked to a couple weeks ago and they don't want no food. They just want to have a conversation. And I listen to their problems, I let them vent, and then I give them what my 2 cents says. So my 2 cents says when I read this book and people there's no need to read. And then I understand, well, the white man's like, we didn't teach them niggers nothing. I'm like, right, you sure fucking didn't. We came over here knowing everything. We came over here knowing everything. They picked up specific tribes when they did. There's a reason they needed Judah. There's a reason they needed Judah. I'm pretty sure some of the people that got snatched up also were Danites. Those two tribes were blessed with the natural understanding of workmanship from the Most High. So, well, naturally, these guys are going to know workmanship better than all the other tribes. Naturally. So, who am I going to want to get? Them. They're also the Jehudites in particular, unlike Dan, who's part of Israel, they had time to continue population growth while being the subservient nation to another nation, while within their own borders. So these people would obviously still be greater in population than other tribes would be. Yep, it's very true. Now, you get to the hard part. You get to the part where they brought people here. You get to the part where they killed people, raped them, mutilated them, beat them down, and then forced groups of people to be amongst each other. Forced them to. Wasn't like it was an option. These groups that they forced to be among each other were black-skinned people, all of whom to this day do not have the same range and abilities and skills. I know I seem like I'm beating the freaking same horse almost every time, but do you guys see why now I actually have to like speak at this, you know, you know, like I mean, sometimes I just be like overwhelmed for real, because I'm like, this is an overwhelming task. Like, there are so many people who think the same things, and it's like you can't say the words good enough. Thank you, sister. I'm glad you do. You know, but you can't say the words good enough. They can't come out eloquent enough. You can't articulate yourself well enough for people to just take you serious. Yet they take serious dirty ass people who've never accomplished anything on this planet but lying, killing, and thieving. And they take them serious. I'm glad y'all rocking with me, because I'm rocking with y'all too. It's how we do it. Tis how we do it. I know it's getting late over there, Eastern Standard Time, you know, that young Atlantic Ocean. So here in a little while, I'm a terminate, because I like to terminate with all of us still congealed together. Because this is a, as Roger Spice said to me, he said, this is a showing that I actually have had growth as a person, and that it just speaks to the level of effect that we can actually have together. Because whether y'all think it or not, Killmonger learned a lot today. You see what I'm saying? Even though we veered off course. 11:20 in Houston. It's all good. 9:20 here. But I learned probably more from them. Once again, I know you guys think I've been talking a lot. I learned more from wanting to hear the questions and wanting to see what people want to know, because it tells me, just like with Lamont Sims, where he's like, all Hebrews don't grow beards. And I'm like, maybe now a person who has some Shemitic blood, or who is some Hebrew, might come from a bloodline that's fragmented, where they're less hairy. It's got nothing to do with me. You know what I mean? I don't personally, once again, prescribe to people having big, stupid, crazy beards, because the pictures of the Aboriginals that I see of this country are the dudes with the, like, they're like wildly poofy. You know what I mean? Like wildly poofy. Like, and obviously these guys didn't just grow these beards overnight. They grew them for a long time. But it's just one of those things where it's like, no, that's not how our beards grow. Like, they might grow out if you comb. I don't comb my beard out just because I don't like for it to be all out there like that. But theirs grows out like that naturally. You see what I'm saying? So I don't know. I just find it weird. I just find it weird. Once again, we're trying to explain these things to people, and if they don't accept it, that's rough. Because I accept my fate. I accept that next Sunday, right around the same time I got on, I'm gonna do this again with y'all. Most High still willing that He still allowed me to breathe the good air on Earth, the good the good polluted air on Earth, because this is always an honor, y'all. Like I said, I learned so much just from like I have to tailor a message to Esau. I mean, but look how they live, though. Okay. So look, I'm gonna address both of these. Well, see, here's the thing, though. The Bible talks about the mixed multitudes. It speaks on these things, like they're spoken on for this very reason. I don't so much lean on DNA as I lean on genetics. Once again, because the genes decide what you actually look like. You know what I'm talking about? And even if we talk about alleles, right? Dominant, recessive genetics, dominant, recessive, dominant. It's all right, bro. Well, first off, we have to understand what the Most High's mindset of what the term city is. You see? Because if people think that fucking like 50 people or some shit like that from the US are gonna make it, you know, like they're tripping. You know, there's hundreds of little cities within states, you know, a bunch of small municipalities. Cause I don't know, I don't find it so scary. I love it. Cause I go outside and I look at people who would rather blood mix and kill off their genes. You feel me? And kill themselves off. Y'all, are y'all really aware? Like, I go so hard on my stuff about this shit. Like, I'm not happy with myself. You know, I'm not happy with myself. And I refuse to listen to brothers who sounded anything like what I sounded like at any point in my life. I refuse to entertain that. I'm not going to entertain them. I'm not going to shun them, but I'm not going to entertain them either. I'm going to share with them some information that I wished I had known a long time ago. Maybe would have saved me a whole lot of trouble. Maybe it wouldn't have. But it's just the fact that I would rather share with them. And I know everybody be thinking, oh, you in there yelling and going crazy. No, I'm just being me. That's just who I am. This guy, it's me. Can you dig it? That's it. It's just the way I am. And I can't help it. I won't try to help it. You know. Something for y'all to think about. I was asleep, and the more I wake up, the madder I get. Yes, I know exactly how you feel. But you know, I was just about to tell you that one, brother. I get more sad than I do anything. I get very sad. But there's hope, bruh. There is hope, you know. And don't listen to these people, man. Don't listen to them. She called us mongrels. It happens. You go through the motions. You go through the motions. Everybody gets sad. Wouldn't be normal if they didn't. You know. I think I just find myself almost disillusioned. You know. I'm like, you guys got a good chance of making it. Y'all are good people. Whatever you is that you think you've done, worse people have done much worse. Believe that. Much worse than you and I could ever imagine. For a lot less. Hell, just to see somebody hurt. Where I'm, you know. No, it's not easy, man, but you're absolutely right, bro. We do have to stay focused, bro. But that's why, like, when with the whole Killmonger thing, like, even though it veered us off course, it was really a necessary. It's really a necessary thing, you know. Even with Lamont Smith, you know, it's Sims. My bad. Lamont Sims. My bad. I'm tripping. Here I go. My God, I'm telling you, I love dude. That's my dude. Like, he's been rocking with me for fucking like a whole year and a half. Like, you know, saying this, saying that. That's why I was like surprised that dude like really forgot. Like, bro, I've been making videos about Noah's triplets for months. He's commented on some of the videos. So I'm like, really, bro? But then I'm starting to understand that there's a disconnect between what people don't want to hear. You know what I didn't want to hear 4 years ago? And I will never, ever forget it. My son's mother said just like this, quote, "You can't make me happy. You won't make me happy. You do not make me happy." She said don't, but I'm just really stressing it, emphasizing it. It is refreshing 4 years later to tell myself that was her reasoning. Can't, won't, don't. So can't, won't, don't is something that I live by. I can't go out like that. I won't go out like that. I do not go out like that. Don't. Nope. Sorry. And we try, listen, it's not even about correcting anybody, sister. It's about giving them the ability to see the other perception. See, excuse me, there's this brother named Baptized the Scribe, aka Tetragrammaton Lion. Long time ago, before I was once again really dealing with anybody, I used to watch other videos of like ISUPK, GOCC, all those dudes. And I never liked how they did stuff. I just didn't like it. So finally, when I gave Scribe a chance, and he's like going in on Black Hebrews and going in on the Esau as the white man. I mean, going in. Where I never tried to defend those points because I didn't understand enough about what was going. Excuse me, about what was going on. I had no understanding of that. You know, I don't think people even understand like how much I'm talking about like perception wise in a 2-year period, maybe 2.5-year period. I went from being like, I could kind of see what bro was saying to like full blown, like I perceive things, I can see them. Sometimes I see things so clearly that I just like put the Bible down. I just let it rest and not let it eat my mind up and not let it eat me up too much. But really, I do thank the Most High for Scribe's presence, because without a brother like that, there is no check or balance. You see, and that's why it's a necessary thing to speak to each other, and to speak to each other and to say shit like, "You don't know what the fuck you're talking about," just like that. Oh yes, 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 yes. Don't worry though. This one right here has got some original ideas. Very original. Very original. So much so that I think I might be too original sometimes. I think people think that I'm a cheater sometimes. I think they think I know things that I'm not telling them right then and there, but that's not what I'm doing. Okay. Here you go. Your ears are burning. Where do we start, y'all? This is going to get interesting. All right. Let's go to the book of Jude. Did anyone know that in some of the older Bibles, oh yeah, it's not a bad channel to be subscribed to. Did anyone know the book of Jude is the book of Judas? Did anybody know that? They changed the name to Jude so that way you wouldn't look at it like that. But Jude is Judas. Yeah. Hi, look at you, Terry. You're so funny. You're like, I did. I knew that shit. But you get what I'm saying, though, right? So they say whatever they want to say about Judas. But listen to this. Jude, the servant of Jesus Christ and brother of James, who was a brother of who? Jesus, right? So guess who's Jesus' brother? Judas. However, to them that are sanctified by God the Father and preserved in Jesus Christ and called, mercy unto you and peace and love be multiplied. Beloved, when I gave all diligence to write unto you of the common salvation, it was needful for me to write unto you and exhort you should earnestly contend for the faith which was once delivered unto the saints. Hold on. For there are certain men crept in unawares, who were before of old ordained to this condemnation, ungodly men, turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness, and denying the only Lord God and our Lord Jesus Christ. I will therefore put you in remembrance, though ye once knew this, how that the Lord, having saved the people out of the land of Egypt, afterward destroyed them that believed not. And the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness until the judgment of the great day. Stop. Read, and read some more, right? So that way, when we listen to guys like him talk, we can go and say things like, well, bam, when he's like, well, my people are like, okay, well, what is he talking about? Well, that faith that was once delivered unto the saints, could that be the same faith or the same thing that was given to the saints of the mercy for thousands, the forgiveness for their sins and their wrong ways? I'm just saying, little things like that. For certain men, for there are certain men crept in unawares. Hold on, these are the tares among the wheat. Yes, they are. These are the non-humans. These are the Gentile things, who were before God of old ordained to this condemnation. Who were before of old ordained to this condemnation. And what it's saying is like they've always done this. This is always who they've been. Ungodly men, turning the grace of our God into lasciviousness. And lasciviousness is chasing after sex. So this is why when we hear about things like in First Samuel, I forget the guy's name, who's the priest or whatever, but his sons, they were known for taking people's sacrifices from them, sleeping with the women, things like that. Wickedness. Verse 6 right here, right? And it says, and the angels which kept not their first estate, but left their own habitation, he hath reserved in everlasting chains under darkness until the judgment of the great day. If that is not Genesis chapter 6, verse 2, right on, when something like, 1 second, and man began to be numerous upon the earth, and daughters were born unto them, and the sons of God, seeing they were beautiful, took to themselves wives of all whom they chose. The Lord God said, my spirit shall not remain among these men. They are flesh. Excuse me, certainly, for they are flesh. Their days shall be 120 years. There was giants in the earth in those days, and after, when the sons of God were wont to go into the daughters of men. If that's not these guys leaving their own habitation, coming down, messing everything up, creating people, hold on, who chase after lasciviousness, denying the Lord God and his Messiah. Yes, these are those people. These are those things. And that's to tell you how complicated the word is. In the book of Malachi, I'll read from the King James Version. Why not? One moment. Malachi says something very interesting. In the first chapter, right? In the 11th verse, it goes something like this. From the rising of the sun, even until the going down of the same, my name shall be great among the Gentiles. And in every place incense shall be burned, offered to my and in every place incense shall be offered unto my name, and a pure offering. For my name shall be great among the heathen, saith the Lord of hosts. One moment. Now, let's go ahead and read this here out of Malachi. Bam, bam. This is why the King James Version and the Septuagint don't always marry up. Because sometimes I'm thinking, like, I just be thinking they're just trying to lie. Like, there's no way they have my best interest in mind. There's no way. There's just no way they could have our best interest in mind. Here we go. Verse 11 from the Septuagint, chapter 1 of Malachi. For from the rising of the sun, even to going down thereof, my name has been glorified among the Gentiles. And in every place, incense is offered to my name, and a pure offering. For my name is great among the Gentiles. Hold on, but here it says something like, for from the rising of the sun, even unto the going down of the same, my name shall be great. There's a big effing difference. One is like, present tense. The other one is like future tense. Because they would have you not to believe that the Gentiles, right on, worship the Most High in any kind of righteous form. When he says back here, thousands of years ago they did. Right. So, how did the white-skinned Gentile become somebody who was giving him pure, holy sacrifice to somebody who don't give a fuck no more? Ask yourself that. Ask yourself this. Why only the white man? Why only the white man? Will justify once again his wickedness. Do you think the Amorites were telling the Italians, and I have my own thoughts on that whole situation about the Moors and them going up to the Byzantine Empire? If y'all man, damn it. Okay, here goes one for the burning ears. If Ham, Sem, Japhet are triplets, if the Moors are Hamites, and the true Romans are Japhetites, and the true Japhetites are being overwhelmed by this foreign enemy, and they need help, would it not make sense for their Hamitic brethren to show up to their aid and to help them out? Right. Got to think, these people didn't have the mentalities that we have. They're not weak like we are. When I say that we're weak, I mean, like, ain't nobody here want to go to fucking prison for life. Ain't nobody going out there cutting off heads, stoning people, doing none of that shit. I'm saying that's what makes us weak in that sense. waiting for permission my ass. There's people every day who are gonna meet the Most High because their conviction level has met to they no longer care about any of this. I don't give a damn. I really don't care. I care enough to care about my people, so I can't throw myself away. As Mr. Redis likes to say, baby Godfather, you're not expendable. Even though I like to think that I am expendable, just like the rest of them. I'm very expendable. If I died today, it'd take a little while, but there would be somebody they would be just like me, and not too long after. They'd be just like me. They'd be different, but they would be just like me. I like to think that there was a brother before I got to wherever my understanding is now. There was a brother that was just like me. That's right. Somebody has to teach. Somebody has to do it. But I'm not a teacher. I'm a proctor. I told you that. I share information with you that I discover. I didn't teach nobody that Noah's sons are triplets. Written in the Bible. I was just telling y'all what I found. But somebody does have to teach. One of these days, if we live long enough, we'll get a real teacher. I'm just being honest. I don't think I've ever. I'm a really good copycat, y'all. I'm probably one of the best copycats you guys have ever met. Just don't. I mean, I'm a really good copycat, and I'm just copying what the Bible says for the most part, trying to keep it all in, and keep as much as I can in my cranium. That's why I don't memorize everything, because I just want to be able to just shoot it right off the top of my head. And if I got a couple words wrong, fuck it. Let's get on Google. Okay, Google. And then, we drop the verse. You see what I'm saying? I'm watering seeds that have already been planted, sister. All y'all, once again, everybody here planted their own seeds in their own mind. And these things are things that we want to nourish them, right? But there's other things we have in our life that have to be nourished. We have to nourish the bills and the mortgage and or the rent, you know what I mean? The car notes, Man, bro, I appreciate that, brother. I really do. I really do. I really, man, talking about all the way in me, bro. I appreciate that, man. That's I guess that's one of the advantages of not having much to lose. This is not a popularity contest for me. It never really much was. Plus, I'm not a popular guy. I never really much was. So, yeah. I appreciate you for appreciating my humility, Sister Browser. And no, mortgages ain't no punk. Shit. It's okay though. Right now I'm living in a pretty cost-effective apartment. Got a roommate. He's good people. I don't know. It's weird. My roommate is a Gentile. I've told y'all this before, right? But this is why, like, when I read the scripture, I could read something like Malachi 1, verse 11, and look at this dude. And I'm talking about, like, I have never had somebody ever try to copy everything I'm doing. This dude tries to copy, like, if I do something different, he will do that. And it's just like the weirdest thing where I'm like, why? He's a fucking grown ass man. You do what the fuck you want to do, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, If you want to bring a different chick in here every night, though I wouldn't appreciate that, you can, like, but he does everything that I do as if I'm doing it right. And I'm like, bruh, I could be so wrong. You know what I mean? Like, don't let me drag you to the pit, dude. Like, why do they think I don't know nothing? If I'm the first person to tell you that black people don't know shit, that means that I inherently don't know nothing. That's why I have to go to the book. If I knew anything, if I knew the whole book, I wouldn't have to take you to the book. It is all about y'all. I make this whole, of course, I'm talking, but as much as I talk, I try to, keep eye on comments, and then that's how I want this to go. I want this to be like, yeah, I have a point, but I don't have a point. I'm saying that's the whole point of expounding. We touched everything almost immediately. 10 servants? Man. We are people who were just trying, brother. That's what we are. We're just trying. But we will get there. I wouldn't read something to you about the mercy of it, that he has on the thousands if it wasn't true. I don't have the initiative right now to look through my notes for the verse I'm looking for. So I'm going to type in right here, right? And I said, I will not make you ashamed. And this is Isaiah. Nope. I'll make sure that that's not the one, because I want to say it's in Hosea. I'm almost positive it's in Hosea. See, right here it's got the Isaiah 54:4, but that's not what I'm looking for. I'm looking for man, I'm telling you, this is just too much fun. It's way too much fun. I have way too much fun doing this. Love to talk way too much. That's why I'm always looking for breaks to just not say too much, and really just take it in. I don't mind taking it in. I like taking it in, So it is most definitely a humbling thing. I have to thank all of y'all. You guys don't know how much this means to me. Just some knucklehead. And I have your attention, and you have listened ever so closely and intently. And there can be no greater thank you than me just saying that this won't happen unless people are, number one, watching and listening, and then number two, willing participants. And you guys all willfully participate. No matter if I say something that rubs your rhubarb the wrong way or whatever, you deal with me, as the Smiths like to say, still rocking with you. So I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. I really do, because it's a man. I've had a lot of people give up on me. I'll say that. As they say, one hand washing the other, something like that, right? That's all it is. I take so much from these conversations. I'll probably watch this video a couple times, rewind certain parts, critique myself. I'm mean to myself like that, you know. When I say I'm all on my own helmet, oh, it's okay. It's okay because y'all stuck with me. Y'all stuck with me. Wherever y'all go, I want to go too. On a real serious note, though, y'all, I'm always sad about our people. You know, when I say every year, a couple $1,000s out of my pocket to the homeless people. You know, it comes in forms of twosies and threesies here or there. But I'll do as much as I can in one hit. For as many people as I can. So might not give everybody like $5 or $6, but here's two for him, three for him. He might get four, she might get five. Like one of the most important times of my whole week, y'all, is when I go to the weekend because I get to deal with real Black people. Some of them aren't our people, and I still accept them because they are in the same struggle, they're in the same boat, and they're receptive. They're receptive. I stay away from the P word. I don't like the P word at all. I don't like that P word. They like to try to say that. I had to stay from getting angry. I don't like that word. I'm just this dude who don't know nothing, reading this book to you. So that way, hopefully, what we don't know, we'll learn together. Does that make sense, y'all? There's a lot of stuff I don't understand. So mountain of things that I just don't get. In the scripture, I just feel so crushed all the time. I'm like, oh my goodness. And then I get to go and do something for somebody. I might go sit down and read the Bible. And it's like, it'll just come. And I'm not saying that what I do for people is like reciprocity and like understanding. It's the most awkward thing though. I don't know how to explain it other than saying like when I do for the people, regardless, the Most High gives me understanding. Then he'll give me a little knowledge. Then he'll give me an even smaller amount of wisdom. Power corrupts absolutely. Absolute power corrupts all. That's something that I learned from these old school cats. I will never forget it. I have no power, so therefore I can't be corrupted. Not like that. You understand? I have nothing. There's nothing. Nothing. We are, man, we're right there. We're this close. Let me find my verse in Hosea so that way I can let y'all go. Because I have to have y'all hear that. You know what I'm saying? Uh, 1 second. And the type letters and all that stuff. 1 second. Jose. Oh my goodness, y'all. This is one of those things where I'm super, super pissed off because I know for a fact that I have it in my notes. It's not Isaiah. Um, 1 second. That really made me sad because it's like sometimes like the internet will act like it doesn't know what you're talking about, and then you got to go look for it yourself. So here we are. One time, let me just see if I can't skim and make it real fast. Oh my goodness. I mean, I ain't gonna lie to y'all. Hosea is one of the coldest, man. His prophecies is so cold. His prophecies is so cold. One moment. No, man. Oh my goodness. This is crazy, yo. You know what? I'm over it. I'm over it. I'm gonna have this for you. I'll have it all doctored up and looking pretty and looking nice. I want to leave on a piece of scripture though, something, not even to say hopeful, but something to look forward to, if that makes sense. You know, and I don't know what we're gonna do. You know, I really don't. We're dealing with a lot of black people. A lot of black people. Here we go. Let's kill this one right here real quick. We're gonna go to the book of Daniel, chapter 2, verse 1. In the second year of his reign, Nebuchadnezzar dreamed a dream, and his spirit was amazed, and his sleep departed from him. And the king gave orders to call the enchanters, the magicians, the sorcerers, and the Chaldeans to declare the king's dream. And they came and stood before the king. And the Chaldeans spoke to the king in the Syrian language. What? Saying, O king, live forever. Do thou tell the dream to thy servants, and we will declare the interpretation. The king answered the Chaldeans, the thing has departed from me. If ye do not make known to me the dream and the interpretation, ye shall be destroyed, and your houses shall be spoiled. But if ye make known to me the dream and the interpretation thereof, ye shall receive of me gifts and presents and much honor. Only tell me the dream and the interpretation thereof. They answered the second time and said, let the king tell the dream to his servants, and we will declare the interpretation. So listen to the Chaldeans and how grimy they are. This is once again grimy ass niggas, and you don't think Abraham came from these same grimy niggas. Look, the first thing they do, right? Y'all do know that Nebuchadnezzar ran Babylon, okay? So how they do it is the first thing they want to do is they want to speak Syrian to him. Y'all got to understand the whole game here. How do they speak Syrian though? Hmm? You know who's a Syrian, right? Laban. You know who's the father of the Syrians, right? Kemuel. Yes, he is. However, did you know who Kemuel is? A nephew of Abraham. Anyway, but these Chaldeans, the supposed land that Abraham comes from, speaks this language. However, the Chaldeans spoke to the king in the Syrian language, saying, "O king, live forever." And you know what the king said? Fuck all that. Do thou tell the dream to thy servants, and we will declare the interpretation. He didn't like that shit. All that live forever shit. So you know what he said? Man, fuck all that. If y'all wrong, I hope y'all get fucked up and your houses get pillaged too. So then what they say to him? What did they say to him then? They said, the second time, let the king tell the dream to his servants, and we will declare the interpretation. Did it say they spoke in the Syrian language? No, no, it did not. Nope. Because they're saying he spoke to him in that language, right on, as it's going down. But they don't have to cover that again. But it's like, understand, the king is not Chaldean, nor is he Syrian. Can you dig it? He's a Babylonian who speaks Syrian. I, I know you're all like, what the fuck does it got to do with anything? Dude, this has everything to do with everything. The fact that I keep trying to tell you that Noah's sons are triplets, the Babylonian Empire was started by a Hamite who's speaking a so-called Semite language, because the Babylonian Empire was known as a Hamido-Shemitic Empire. What people fail to realize is that if these people were genetically the same, you wouldn't be able to tell the difference between one to the other. Right. Their genetic blueprint from Shem, Ham, and Japheth, or maybe, I'm talking about microly different because they're triplets. Certain things might be, you know, this guy has a slightly darker hue of dark brown or black hair, whatever. Little things like that that don't, I'm not gonna say they don't matter, but they don't add up to changing anything. These dudes are Hamido-Shemitic people who live in Babylon. The guys who came to talk to him right now are from a Semitic nation called Chaldea. They distinguish the two are different. Babylon and Chaldea are not the same right now. Babylon existed way back when Chaldea existed, but they never talk about the Chaldeans except only here in the Bible. If you look at the Chaldeans for any other place in history, they'll call them Babylonians and they'll call them Sumerians. Sometimes they even call them Assyrians. Why is that? Because Noah's sons were triplets. So that means that the congealing of the most basic bloodlines, when they do congeal, there's no telling the difference of these people. Why do you think they can't tell the difference between the languages from way back then? They don't know. They literally don't know. They can't tell. But that's not their fault, though, because they're not looking at the Bible as the blueprint to understanding. And I'm not going to tell them. They're not going to believe me anyway. So it don't matter. It don't matter. But with that, one moment. Wow. So understand, I've turned the page again. I see something else about Chaldeans. I just want to just not see anything else about them for a second. Nope. 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 Give me 1 second, y'all. We're leaving on some good stuff. Ecclesiastes, where you at? There we go. We're gonna leave on some so-called worldly knowledge, wisdom from the daddy of wickedness himself. That's right, King Solomon. You said it. Just in case you don't think he's wicked, he's wickedly evil. Trust me. Let me read this real quick. Wait a second. Y'all do recognize all the evil shit that he was saying and shit that he did, right? Right? This is what Solomon did. Here we go. Verse 17 of chapter 5. Behold, I have seen good, that it is a fine thing for a man to eat and to drink, and to see all good, and to see good in all his labor in which he may labor under the sun. All the numbers of the days of which, excuse me, of his life which God has given to him, for it is his portion. Yea, and as for every man to whom God has given wealth and possessions, and has given him power to eat thereof, and to receive his portion, and to rejoice in his labor, this is the gift of God. Stop right there. Do y'all know how fucking wicked that sounds? What if you sell dope? That's your labor. Right. I need y'all to understand this dude, Solomon, is fucking wicked as I don't know what. Solomon didn't have to work for his riches like that, dude. His daddy already had hella riches. Solomon asked for wisdom and gained wisdom. And just like Ben Judah said, my brother in the UK, he said, brother, do you think some people want wisdom just so they can know how to do wickedly and cheat because they know how to make right? It's just one of those things. However, we're going to carry on real quick. I'm going to finish this part out. For he shall not much remember the days of his life, for God troubles him in the mirth of his heart. You all understand what he's saying? Everything that I just told to you, because it's a wicked ass dude he's talking about. You saying? He's talking about I have seen good. You fucking liar. You're a fucking liar to say that and then to follow that up with you're gonna have troubles, and then for God troubles him in the mirth of his heart. What the fuck? That didn't even make sense, dude. There is an evil which I have seen under the sun. It is abundant with man. A man to whom God shall give wealth and substance and honor, and he wants nothing for his soul of all things that he shall desire, yet God shall not give him power to eat of it, for a stranger shall devour it. This is vanity and an evil infirmity. Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what he just said? Did you hear what he just said? If the Most High gives you everything you want, but somebody else enjoys it. Listen, listen. He's talking about a dude born fucking half retarded, wheelchair bound type shit like that. Like you got all this shit, but you don't have the power to do anything. That's evil to him, really. But I thought the sins were paid upon the third and fourth generations. Y'all got to understand, this is a wicked ass dude right here. Solomon is so wicked. I can't wait till I get to break his monkey ass down. I don't think y'all understand. I don't like Solomon. I borderline almost hate him. He brought in Jeroboam. Do you fucking dig that? Because of Solomon, the Most High raised up Ayer the Idumean to be against Israel because of Solomon. But did they fucking blame Solomon for the fall of Israel? No, they blamed Jeroboam. I digress. Here we go. Verse 16 of chapter 7. And I'm going to end after I get done with this. I have seen all things in the days of my vanity. There is a just man perishing in his justice, and there is an ungodly man remaining in his wickedness. Be not very just, neither be very wise, lest thou be confounded. Be not very wicked, and be not stubborn, lest thou shouldest die before thy time. It is well for thee to hold fast by this. Also by this defile not thy hand. For to them that fear God all things shall come forth well. I cannot stress to y'all enough. When he says, be not too wise or too just, lest thou be confounded, he's saying don't be so high and mighty, right? Otherwise, you're going to be wondering why somebody left you, don't want to deal with you. Boss man fired you, right? And he says, don't be too wicked nor too stubborn, lest you should die before your time. He's saying that to like dudes like who want to believe that Esau was the white man. And you want to go fucking kick it with a dude that's not your brother, claiming he's your brother, putting yourself in fucking harm's way. That's so wicked and it's so stubborn. But you almost deserve to die thinking like that. All right. Almost, not exactly. But that's what he's talking about, though. You'll have earned yourself your own death. You'll have killed your own self by doing that kind of shit. However, my people, time on deck is 10:15 p.m. Tomorrow is Monday. For some of y'all, it's already Monday. I will not hold you any further than what I have already held you. This crazy young man is going to go ahead and sit it down. I didn't take a nap, by the way, y'all. I stayed up. Me and Andre Wickham just chopped it for hours. I stayed up. I couldn't lay down. We'll see if I lay down for a few hours before I get back up in a few hours just to be up because I just can't sleep. Too much on my mind. Guilt will do that. But so will thinking about the Most High and trying to get your stuff right. You guys are my people. I enjoy you every time I get the chance. I can't wait till I get this hot dog stand off the ground and I can figure out something with my schedule for real, something solid. I don't know what to tell y'all at this point. It has been nice. I appreciate you. Y'all stay safe. Y'all stay good. And may the Most High bless you. And I really do love all y'all. I mean, straight up, I really do have much love for you. Please be good and just make it through another 7-day broadcast so that way we can get through another one of these. All right, now, y'all.